So welcome all of you in today's session. Hope everybody is doing well. And let's start with the current affairs, weekly current affairs. Now today we have a lot of important topics and a lot of conceptual topics also that I'm going to cover in the class. And so make sure that if you have any doubt in between, just highlight it, because I'll try to go a little slow, because there are 2-3 topics which are you can say little technical also, as per the requirement of the examination. So what other topics for today? Let's understand. The first is comparing fiscal responses of COVID-19. So COVID-19 is right now is a challenge that is going on, and government is facing a lot of problems. Okay, and that problem is mainly the revenue constraints that government is facing. And why government is facing revenue constraints? Because economy is not at its full potential. Okay, and since the economy is not at full potential, the chances are there that the government is not able to generate good amount of revenue. And once you don't have revenue, how will the economy work? So the fiscal responses. Now this is a little technical topic. So I'm going to give you a little story kind of idea how the entire things move. The second is, again, it is related to the first topic. The gold and forex reserve cannot finance stimulus. Now, what is stimulus? I'll discuss that. And we do have good amount of gold and forex. What is forex? Forex is foreign exchange reserve. So this is two important topics from conceptual point of view. Then we have topic number 4 called strategic and non-strategic sectors of industries. Again, it is in news recently. And since it is in news, what exactly is the relevance of that? I want to discuss that. So this is also important news. Then judicial intervention and anti-defection proceedings. Right now, the Rajasthan crisis, you must be going, aapko pata hoga Rajasthan, crisis is going on. So I'll discuss the brief background of this crisis and what the crisis is all about. Again, it has the two topics are linked to both the topics. Then again, there is one more important topic, again linked with economy. RBI signs 400 million currency swap facility with Sri Lanka. Okay, so this again is important news in terms of you can say conceptual point of view. So these are topics which will require a lot of understanding. So I'll go slow. Then there is one more topic, the Kakra Par atomic power project. So again, it is technical. Okay, so I'm going to discuss this topic. Then there is a serological survey. So a lot of news is there which would require good understanding conceptually. So make sure that if you have any doubt, make sure you ask me in between, because I'll try to go it slow and try to explain everything. But still, if there are any doubts, just do let me know. Okay, so let's understand the first one, the comparing fiscal responses to COVID-19. Now, so what India has done since March, mid-March, India is going through some kind of lockdown, and today we are in July, almost end of July. So in the first 2 months, it was complete lockdown, and then the unlock process started. But still, the economy is not at its full potential. And why economy is not at full potential? Because many sectors of economy are not performing fully. A very good example is hospitality sector. Okay, so hospitality sector is almost closed. Tourism is almost closed. Education is almost, except online, the offline education is almost closed. Online education is one of the maybe option of offline education, but university education, all these are mainly offline only. So education is also a sector hugely impacted. Then health sector has created a lot of burden for the government in terms of how the economy will perform. So hospitality, tourism, education are the sectors which are heavily impacted. And since these sectors are one of the big sectors of the economy, say they indirectly have spillover in other sectors. Spillover means any sector which is linked with these sectors will also be impacted. Now, this sector is also one of the biggest employment generation sector in India. And hence India is facing these problems. And these sectors require maybe population movement. It requires maybe densely population in different parts or different kind of activities when we do. So this is a concern, and hence it is very important that government comes up with the right approach. Now, what government has done recently, that government is trying to the government came with a package of 10% of India's GDP, and this this is around, you can say, almost 20 lakh crore. Now this 20 lakh crore has been on two areas. One is the fiscal response. Fiscal means government gives revenue or government spends in that area. And the second is of course the monetary responses. Monetary responses means RBI जो है इसको funding करता है. RBI kind of provides help. Fiscal response is mainly in the form of stimulus. So what is stimulus? Stimulus is kind of a support you give, okay, an affirmative action or support which government gives to the people in the economy, the affected people. For example, government has said that we're going to give food, to maybe 2/3 of India's population, free food, okay, for till November. So this is costing huge amount of money. So this is stimulus. Government has said that we will make sure that Manrega, jiska budget tha 60,000 crore, that 40,000 crore more has been added. So this will generate more employment. Stimulus measure is mainly where you invest in the economy. आप क्या करते हो? Investment happens in the economy. Now remember, a basic concept of economy says that in order to economy to function and perform, it is very important that spending happens. Okay, so there is a demand in the economy, and the demand has to be supported naturally with supply. But what has happened? The demand has dipped. And because of the reduced demand, India is, or any country for that matter in the world, or almost 200 countries are affected in varying degrees. So every country is facing problem. Recently, I read an article last week where Singapore ka minus 40% GDP hua. Okay, so can you believe that minus 40% of GDP in the first quarter, right from April to June. So these are the problems which every economy is facing with varying degree. Good part about India is that हमारा जो agriculture है, that has been relatively can say has been able to do well. At the same time, the small cities are also maybe are showing little more resilience in terms of economic activities. But unfortunately, in the recent time, what we see that the activities are moving, or you can say the COVID-19 spread is happening in the small cities as well. Now, India or the government of India is facing a huge challenge. And that challenge is that, how do we revive the economy? Economy kaise revive kare? And one approach is that if people are not spending, and the question is that why people are not spending? People are not spending because they don't have money. Or even if they have money, they are postponing their payment, expenditure. They are only spending in the areas where they feel, is important. For example, essential commodities. But in other areas, जहाँ पे उनको spending करने का उनका plan था, they have postponed that plan. Let's say you, want to purchase a car. And even though you have a decent amount in the account, but you don't know, how economy will move tomorrow. And let's say you have a business and that business is affected, so you will postpone your decision and you will wait for the right time. So that is a problem area. So similarly, every part of the economy, is in everywhere in the economy, people are facing at varying degree of challenges. Even people in the government job, government has reduced their DA. So when the government has reduced their DA, it is a problem. So what we are witnessing that India is or for that matter every country is facing problem. अब economy में अगर demand नहीं होगा, if there is no demand in the economy, how will economy function? How will economy perform? And if the demand is not there, the supply cannot be there. If the supply cannot be there, production cannot be there. Employment cannot be there, and whether it is industry or services, all that will be impacted. So what government? So this is a very common scenario. Which happens during the time when there is a recession. जब economy में slow down होता है या recession होता है. Now, but this is not an economic problem. It's a pandemic, and because of the pandemic, economic crisis has is kind of coming up. The question is that what kind of approach government can have? Government क्या कर सकती है? What can government do? And one approach is that if people are not spending, government should spend, and government should give money to people. Okay, so government आपको आपके हाथ पे पैसा दे. That's the first thing. Second is government invest the money in the economy. Now, where will that investment come from? Government will have to generate that revenue from some sources. वो sources क्या हैं that I'm going to discuss. But government क्या करेगा? Government पैसा spend करेगा in the areas where they feel employment will be generated. For example, infrastructure. For example, areas which will generate a lot of jobs. Or a very good example is right now Delhi Metro has started the phase 4. Delhi Metro is closed since 20th of March. Can you believe that? It's a lifeline of Delhi and it is closed since 20th of March. And today we are in the end of July. So it is a huge crisis. People in Delhi cannot move. On an average, Delhi Metro was carrying more than 30 lakh people on an average every day. And that is an extreme cause of concern. Because if Delhi Metro is not moving, the people are not moving. The people are working from home, or they have looking for options. They are they are not coming out of their rooms or houses or societies. So that is a concern. So, but here since Delhi Metro is a government entity, they can bear it. Government se wo paisa le lenge and government will pump money. So what here the approach would be that government should be spending money, and that spending is called stimulus package. So government is spending money in the economy and generating artificial demand in the economy. एक तरीका ये है कि you invest in the areas which generate job. Second is you give money in the people's hand. आप लोगों के हाथ में पैसा दे दीजिए. Let's say like a kind of a benefit. You must have come across that गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, पीएम किसान. सो जितने भी फार्मर्स हैं उनके अकाउंट में 2000 का इंस्टॉलमेंट डाल दिया. द वुमेन हाउस, जो वुमेन थी जिनके पास जनधन अकाउंट थे, अराउंड 20 करोड़ जो जनधन अकाउंट थे, ऑल दीज वुमेन गॉट 500 rupees per month. So for 3 months they got 1500 rupees. So no, but these no efforts which government made, they are very less to the scale of the economy. हमारा economy बहुत बड़ा है, and the kind of money which government gave was very less. So this article is discussing about the problems which economy is witnessing and what kind of solutions government can provide. There are a lot of there are a lot of problems. एक तरफ government को भी ये लगता है that if we give money to the people, will they spend? आपके अकाउंट में पैसा आ रहा है तो आप स्पेंड कर रहे हो या नहीं कर रहे हो, और यू आर पोस्टपोनिंग अ डिसीजन बिकॉज you are uncertain about your future, you are uncertain about your income, you are uncertain about the future of your income. Now the biggest lot which is affected, the lower income group, the people jo daily wage laborers the people like you and me will still survive. Maybe we'll maybe cut down our expenditures and we'll try to manage somehow. But I'm talking about those people who are at the bottom level of the economy, the daily wage laborers, the small petty traders, those are the people who are affected, and especially in the sectors which are affected. So what is the approach here? What can government do? Now government will have to come up with a solution which is going to provide solutions to the problems in the economy. So government का जो fiscal response है वो क्या है, उसके बारे में let's discuss. So India's fiscal response compared to other countries which are similar in GDP per capita, state capacity and structure of the labor force. So what we are doing, that we are comparing India's response with other countries' response. For example, Bangladesh or Indonesia. Before Atmanirbhar Bharat package, India lagged significantly behind comparable developing countries. But after July, the gap has narrowed. So government came with this new package and that changed things. The Atmanirbhar Bharat package was built at 10% of the GDP of the government, but the 10% में दोनों था, fiscal and monetary. अब मैंने क्या किया, I explained the fiscal part. Government does the spending. Government of India does the spending through various methods which I explained. Second is monetary measure. Monetary measure means RBI जो है spending नहीं करता है. RBI provide easy credit. RBI provide easy credit. So let's say you are a businessman and your business has stopped for 6 months. So what can RBI do here? RBI कहेगा कि don't worry, take a cheap loan. Okay, I'll give you a loan today, and you don't have to pay for the loan for the next 6 months. आप 6 months तक आप loan मत pay करो. After 6 months और next year से आपका EMI start करेंगे. So और at the same time they gave a moratorium. Okay, moratorium का मतलब होता है where RBI kind of gives that kind of give your approach where you don't pay. आप later on you pay later. Okay, pay later. Interest अभी आज का भी देना पड़ेगा, but pay later. For example, you have a EMI of 10,000, let's say. So for 6 months don't pay. अब ये 6 months आप ज्यादा जो pay नहीं कर रहे हो, ये so whatever is a loan amount, उसमें ये amount जो interest वाला part होगा वो add हो जाएगा. But once when the economy will be normal, then you can pay the loan. Yes, there'll be challenges because you might have to pay for a longer period of time, but that's okay. At least आपके ऊपर आज बैंक प्रेशर नहीं डाल सकता है. So this is what RBI can do. RBI can give easy credit, can give a moratorium, or you can say can postpone your EMI payments. Okay, so this is what RBI has done. Further, RBI can also help the banks with certain measures so that बैंक के पास बैंक अब बैंक में you keep money in bank. आप पैसा बैंक में रखते हो, आप FD कराते हो. Now bank is also supposed to give that money to somebody. Bank will give loan to somebody. और आपको अगर बैंक कहता है that we'll give you 4%, bank will give loan at 10% to somebody else, and the difference 6% is the earning of the bank. The problem here is that people are not spending, the investments are not happening, and hence banks have a lot of money in their hand. Okay, so these are the problems which RBI can handle. RBI उनको कुछ facility देगा, या RBI कुछ ऐसा provision लेके आएगा that bankers the business people will get loan easily with a very low interest rate. So कहेंगे no, you take a loan at 6% or 7%. Normally जो आपको 10% में मिलेगा loan, they will say take at less percent and pay it later on. So that is what RBI probably is doing measures so that banking system provides money to the economy, to business people, and they can restart the economy. But there is a problem. Problem is there is an uncertainty in the economy. The biggest uncertainty is that we do not know when the economy will revive और कब economy normal function करने लगेगी. We don't know that, and that is a big challenge. If we don't know when the economy will work normally, we can't take decisions. Let's say you want to start a business and suddenly this COVID is going on. So even if you have money, आप कहोगे let's wait. What if I start the factory or whatever, start my business and nobody comes to my shop? So I would rather wait. So these are the problems which government is facing. Last week, just few days ago, I read an article by Chief Economic Advisor of Prime Minister Advisory Council, and Chief Economic Advisor said that people are waiting, and people are not even spending. Even if they have money, they're not spending. They're postponing. They're delaying, and that is a common you can say the common solution, a common response of people in the economy. So these are the the problems. But हमारी पूरे जो package में monetary response is almost 80%, and fiscal response is not even 20%, or rather monetary response is yes 80%, fiscal response is not even 20%, even less than that. तो जो भी measure है पैसा देने का वो RBI के through, RBI is giving cheap loan, but government is not giving to any money. Let's take an example of my institute. So we have an institute in Karol Bagh and GTB Nagar, and since the institute is not running, we have to pay the rent. So what we did is that we asked the owners that we can't pay rent in this time. Okay, so some said no, you have to pay something. So we said okay, we will pay you a little bit, till the time economy is normal. So these are the problem which economies might face. Now different people have different problems. Fortunately, there is no debt on us, so there is at least we can survive. But people, the businesses where there is there's a huge debt, they have a bigger problems and challenges. So ultimately, these are the problems where people see in the economy at different level, and what government can do is something that we are looking at. So this article is basically discussing about that India's fiscal response was around 4% of GDP. Fiscal means जो government का है, and rest is of course the RBI measure. But some estimate said that new fiscal outlay is just 1.7%. उनका कहना है कि गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ नया नहीं किया है. गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया? गवर्नमेंट हैड प्लेड अ ट्रिक वेयर गवर्नमेंट जो ऑलरेडी स्पेंडिंग था उसको भी ऐड कर दिया. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ इट वुड हैव बीन अ नॉर्मल ईयर, अगर ये नॉर्मल ईयर होता तो गवर्नमेंट सेड हम 100 रुपीस खर्च करेंगे. ओके, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द पैंडेमिक, नो गवर्नमेंट से आई एम गोइंग टू स्पेंड 200 रुपीस. द गवर्नमेंट कह रही है कि आई एम स्पेंडिंग 200 रुपीस व्हिच इज 4%. बट द इकोनॉमिस्ट आर सेइंग ये 100 तो आप पहले से स्पेंड कर रहे थे, आपने 100 एक्स्ट्रा ही तो स्पेंड कर रहे हो. सो व्हाट न्यू यू आर डूइंग? नथिंग न्यू यू आर डूइंग. सो इफ वी टेक दैट अकाउंट, एक्चुअली जो गवर्नमेंट जो न्यू स्पेंडिंग्स कर रहा है दैट इज रिलेटिवली लेसर. एंड व्हेन वी कंपेयर India's response with Vietnam, Indonesia, Pakistan, Egypt, all of them have come with varying degree of stimulus response, and unka ye manna hai that these countries have given more money in comparison to their GDP. So these are the problems which economy is facing. And the question is that what should be done? Now before going ahead, I'll just give a little background of how economy was functioning aur jab ye government ne sare measure liye. Now economy, so there is a concept of fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit means a difference between government's income, okay, and government expenditure. Okay, so income कम है and expenditure ज़्यादा है, so this will be negative. Okay, so what we can see, fiscal deficit is right now, fiscal deficit is 4.6% of the GDP for 2019-20, which means government के पास जो पैसा आ रहा है, they have a deficit of 4.6% of GDP. 1% of GDP is around 2 lakh crore. So this is around 9 lakh crore का government का deficit है. Now this was a normal situation. That means government के पास पैसा 9 लाख करोड़ का लेस होता if it's a normal situation. But now गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, गवर्नमेंट का इनकम एंड एक्सपेंडिचर, गवर्नमेंट का एक्सपेंडिचर बढ़ गया है. Okay, this has increased substantially. And why it has increased? Because of the committed payments. Government की committed payments होते हैं. And what are the committed payments of the government? Salaries and pensions of the, okay, then defense subsidy which government has to give, and the previous loan payments. Now these are the committed payments. Government cannot say no. Okay, so these are the payments which, so these are the committed payments. But hab kya raha hai, in a normal situation also there is a deficit, but now we have an extra, you can say, deficit due to this COVID-19. Ek to health expenditure, because the health expenditure has gone up. Government has to generate hospitals, COVID centers, testing, PPE kits, and government is doing a lot of effort from their side in every level. Government har level pe kuch na kuch karne ki koshish kar rahi hai. So these are, suddenly there is expenditures. Further, there are problems where economy mein unemployment बढ़ गया है, so government is providing stimulus. So it's like a double whammy. It's like a it's a problem where the slides are not moving. Is it visible to everybody? What I'm writing, you're able to see, guys? Kritika beta, I think I'm just I'm able to see, right? Kritika beta, I'm just explaining from the flow chart. I hope you're able to see that. It is okay for others, right? Okay, fair enough. So the problem is that the deficit government का और बढ़ रहा है, and these are the problems. And so government is expecting, now people, आपके क्या expect करते हो? You expect that government should take the lead role. So this is the problem in the economy right now also. So already problem था, and now this COVID-19 has further increased the problem, and hence government has huge challenge. अब government क्या कर सकती है? Government will have to generate more revenue. अभी revenue कहाँ से आएगा? Revenue 3 sources से आता है. First is taxes. Okay. Second is the asset of the government. आप government asset sale करे या asset से कुछ earning करे. Okay, asset sale या asset से जो भी earning आता है, let's say PSUs of the government of India. तो यहाँ से income आता है, so this is asset of the government. और government take loan or debt. So government के पास ये दोनों का तो income कम हो रहा है, and hence the only option is increase in debt. Already हमारा debt थोड़ा high है, and this is the problem. So Indian economy or government is facing a lot of problems, and they have to look for solutions which is sustainable, and these are the challenges which an economy have to go through in the recent time. Okay, so fiscal deficit, till now everything is clear to everybody? Now demand side interventions, what can government do here? Now demand side intervention in the package, government का है कि we should, the article says that let's increase the demand side. One was that government ने कहा कि हम मनरेगा, what is मनरेगा? 100 days job in rural areas for everybody. Okay, so 40,000 हम extra spend करेंगे in मनरेगा. The other could be front loading or existing funds. हमारे कोई भी existing funds है उनको हम use करें. So this is what demand side intervention could be. आप demand को increase कर रहे हो. अब डिमांड कैसे होगा? लेट्स से मनरेगा में आपको 100 डेज का जॉब मिलता है, एंड गवर्नमेंट ने कहा नाउ दिस ईयर यू गेट 150 डेज जॉब. एवरी डे ऑन इन मनरेगा आपको 202 रुपीज मिलता है. सो ऑन इन अ नॉर्मल सिचुएशन यू विल गेट 20,020 रुपीज पीपल वर्किंग इन मनरेगा, बट नाउ यू विल बी गेटिंग समवेयर अराउंड 1.5 टाइम्स, दैट इज 30,000 रुपीज. अब आपके पास जो 30,000 रुपीज है, इससे आप क्या करोगे? इससे आप स्पेंडिंग करोगे, और जब स्पेंडिंग करोगे दैट विल जनरेट डिमांड, and when the demand will happen that will boost the cycle, और इसी तरह से इकोनॉमी रिवाइव होगा. as the demand becomes normal, जब तक प्री कोविड लेवल तक डिमांड नहीं पहुंच जाएगा तब तक ये कैट एंड माउस गेम चलता रहेगा, that we have to find solutions to the problem. How developing countries are financing responses? Developing countries are resorting to drastic means of finance COVID-19 responses. Actions so far include amendment or legal budget limit. Now remember, government spending करता है, so government cannot spend anything or everything. Government can spend only to the level फिर से समझा दीजिए। बिनीश कौन सा बेटा? ओके, दिस कंसेप्ट, विच कंसेप्ट यू आर टॉकिंग? सो मनरेगा में 100 डेज का जॉब मिल रहा था, नाउ यू गेटिंग 150 डेज जॉब, सो द सैलरी, द कंपोनेंट विल बी हायर। ओके, सो पहले मनरेगा में आपको 100 डेज में 200 रुपीज पर डे मिल रहा था, नाउ यू गेट 202 रुपीज इंटू 150, तो कितना होगा? अराउंड 30,000 हो जाएगा। सो दिस वे द पीपल इन द रूरल एरियाज, मनरेगा इज 100 days of rural, job in rural economy, आपको 100 days का, और ये अनस्किल्ड लेबर्स को मिलता है, अनस्किल्ड लाइक डेली वेज लेबर्स को मिलता है। सो दिस इफ गवर्नमेंट इंक्रीजेस दिस, तो इससे क्या होगा? रूरल स्पेंडिंग बढ़ जाएगा, आपका पैसा होगा तो आप स्पेंडिंग करोगे, एंड व्हेन दैट इफ स्पेंडिंग इज देयर, डिमांड विल बी देयर, एंड द डिमांड विल बी देयर, इकोनॉमी विल काइंड ऑफ रिवाइव। सी अल्टीमेटली इट इज ऑल अबाउट रिवाइविंग द डिमांड इन द इकोनॉमी। सो गवर्नमेंट को कुछ करना होगा, तो एक तो ये हो गया। दूसरा, गवर्नमेंट माइट कैन गिव कैश ट्रांसफर्स, आपके अकाउंट में पैसा ट्रांसफर कर दे। तो नॉर्मली गवर्नमेंट हमारे आपके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर नहीं करेगी, गवर्नमेंट विल यूजुअली ट्रांसफर मनी टू द पीपल हु आर एट द लोअर इनकम लेवल, जिनका इनकम कम है या पुअर है, उनको गवर्नमेंट ट्रांसफर करेगी। ओके, now coming to how government developing countries are coping, developing countries cope कर रही है। one is of course they are using some maybe unusual measures। okay, आप कोई नया innovation यूज कर रहे हो फंड जनरेट करने का। right now a very big a good not good, I would say a big example is that government ने क्या कर दिया है? government has increased taxes on fuel, गवर्नमेंट ने टैक्सेस ऑन फ्यूल बढ़ा दिया है। सो टैक्सेस ऑन फ्यूल कैसे बढ़ा दिया है? अभी आपको डीजल पेट्रोल महंगा मिल रहा है, सो यू आर पेइंग 80 रुपीज फॉर पेट्रोल, लेट्स से। सो एक्चुअली इसमें 45 रुपीज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को जा रहा है ना, द एक्चुअल प्राइस इज मे बी 35 रुपीज। सो गवर्नमेंट इज थ्रू दिस गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू जनरेट द रेवेन्यू। सो दीज आर द प्रॉब्लम। सेकंड इज गवर्नमेंट ने अपना बजट का लिमिट बढ़ा दिया है। अर्लियर द लिमिट वाज लेस, नाउ दे हैव इंक्रीज्ड द लिमिट, व्हिच मींस गवर्नमेंट कैन बोरो मोर। अभी गवर्नमेंट कहां से बोरो करेगा? गवर्नमेंट विल बोरो फ्रॉम पीपल, लाइक हमसे बोरो कर सकता है, फ्रॉम पब्लिक। गवर्नमेंट कैन बोरो, गवर्नमेंट कैन आस्क आरबीआई टू प्रिंट मोर करेंसी। ओके, सो ये सारे सोर्स है बोरोइंग के। सम आर आल्सो एक्सप्लोरिंग एनहांस इशूइंग ऑफ बॉन्ड्स इंक्लूडिंग पैंडेमिक बॉन्ड्स। तो एक पैंडेमिक बॉन्ड करके इंडोनेशिया निकाला। बॉन्ड क्या होता है? बॉन्ड इज लाइक अ डॉक्यूमेंट वेयर लेट्स से गवर्नमेंट इश्यूज 1 लाख करोड़ बॉन्ड, and government says that you purchase this bond and this bond is for 1 year, and after 1 year whosoever purchase the bond, they will get an interest rate of 7%. okay, so now you will feel कि government ये bond issue कर रही है, so you will go and purchase the bond, and next year मान लो आपने 1 लाख का bond खरीदा, तो इसको आपको 7% इस पे इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा, and ओरिजिनल पैसे पे आपका 7% इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा प्लस द प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट। so you will get 7% return here. So that is how government raises money from the market, by issuing bond. So इसी तरह से इंडोनेशिया ने एक पैंडेमिक बॉन्ड इशू किया। दिस इज नॉट अ नॉर्मल बॉन्ड, इट इज अ बॉन्ड बिकॉज ऑफ द पैंडेमिक, एंड इंडोनेशिया मस्ट हैव सेट टू इट्स पॉपुलेशन and its banks or people to purchase the bond. And why somebody will purchase government bond? Because government never default, government default नहीं करती है, no default. okay, so कभी government default नहीं करेगी। A very good example is government jobs में आपकी salary is almost stable. It is practically impossible not to have a job. okay, आपको salary मिलना ही मिलना है, कुछ भी होगा। प्राइवेट कंपनी में आपका जॉब जा सकता है, सैलरी कट हो सकता है। इन दिस पैंडेमिक the only people whose job are secure are the government, because government कभी default नहीं करती है। so this is what countries are doing at different level. okay, then other could be central bank, जैसे RBI है। so RBI are issuing, purchasing private and public bond, okay, from the market. अभी RBI क्या करेगी? RBI मार्केट में जाएगी, market means I'm talking about stock market, and RBI will purchase bonds जो already existing bonds हैं। Why will purchase bond? Because ये जो existing bonds हैं, there are no takers, इनको खरीदने वाले लोग कम हैं, because economy is not normal, people have less money. so RBI will purchase the bond, और RBI bond purchase करेगी, and RBI will pump money in the economy, pump rupee. so so that is one way central bank in many are experimenting with purchase of the bond. Second is RBI can directly purchase government bond. sorry, गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगी? मोनेटाइज करेगी डेफिसिट को। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, आरबीआई कहेगी प्रिंट मनी, यू प्रिंट मनी, और आप जब मनी प्रिंट करोगे तो वो भी एक बॉन्ड के अगेंस्ट होगा। तो इस तरह से क्या होगा, आरबीआई मनी प्रिंट करके गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को देगी और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया स्पेंडिंग करेगी। बट इससे प्रॉब्लम क्या होगा, इन दोनों केस में गवर्नमेंट का डेट बढ़ जाएगा, कर्ज, डेट विल गो अप। ओके, सो द डिबेट कंटिन्यूज। तो सॉरी, तो ये अप्रोच है वेयर ईदर गवर्नमेंट can go to RBI can go in the market and they can purchase the existing bond and pump money, or government of India can directly ask the RBI to purchase ask the RBI to purchase from the primary market, that is monetize the deficit। ठीक है, प्राइमरी मार्केट मतलब फर्स्ट टाइम जो इशू होता है। तो आप क्या करोगे, आप जाके मार्केट से आप जो है पैसा रेज करोगे, इधर डायरेक्टली फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, और जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग बॉन्ड्स हैं, प्राइमरी मार्केट मतलब जो बॉन्ड फर्स्ट टाइम इशू होगा, और सेकेंडरी मार्केट मतलब जो ऑलरेडी बॉन्ड्स हैं, मान लो किसी और ने खरीद रखा है, वो वाले बॉन्ड्स को कोई और आरबीआई परचेज करेगा। सो द पॉइंट आई वांट टू मेक हियर दैट इस दोनों सिचुएशन में क्या होगा, द मनी विल बी जनरेटेड, न्यू मनी और एक्स्ट्रा मनी विल बी जनरेटेड, और फिर हम इसको इकोनॉमी में हम रिवाइव करने के लिए यूज करेंगे। सो दैट इज द कंसेप्ट व्हिच गवर्नमेंट इज लुकिंग एट। ठीक है, सो दीज आर द वेज इन व्हिच गवर्नमेंट इज लुकिंग फर्दर। एक और एफआरबीएम एक्ट है, फिस्कल रिस्पांसिबिलिटी एंड बजट मैनेजमेंट। अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस लॉ, गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग जो करेगा उसमें लिमिट डिफाइंड है। सो हियर देयर इज अ एस्केप क्लॉज। गवर्नमेंट ने, मान लो एफआरबीएम लॉ ने कहा कि गवर्नमेंट कैन नॉट स्पेंड मोर देन 2 लाख करोड़ एक्स्ट्रा लोन, या गवर्नमेंट का लोन 2 लाख करोड़ नहीं हो सकता। बट ड्यूरिंग द क्राइसिस, अगर कोई क्राइसिस है तब गवर्नमेंट कैन ब्रीच दिस टारगेट। सो दैट इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ एस्केप क्लॉज। एस्केप क्लॉज में इट्स लाइक मैं किसी भी केस में मैं लोन नहीं लूंगा, बट आई विल टेक अ लोन व्हेन देयर इज अ क्राइसिस। सो राइट नाउ देयर इज अ क्राइसिस, सो देयर इज एस्केप क्लॉज। So these are the ways in which the countries are looking ways to finance the responses। और यहाँ पे mainly government is looking to raise revenue through debt। government debt के थ्रू पैसा रेज करेगी, अपना डेट बढ़ाएगी, एंड डेट जब बढ़ाएगी तो प्रॉब्लम भी होगा इकोनॉमी, बिकॉज डेट को पे करना पड़ेगा। बट डेट बढ़ाएगी तो वो गवर्नमेंट यू विल यूज दैट मनी ऑफ द डेट एंड दे विल पंप मनी इन द इकोनॉमी फर्दर। द सेकंड इज कैश ट्रांसफर। एक तो ये हो गया कैश, गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगी, कैश ट्रांसफर आपके अकाउंट में कर देगी। Now, as per this article, it says that cash transfer will boost the demand, and around 173 countries, उसमें हाफ से ज्यादा कंट्रीज ने कैश ट्रांसफर्स किए। एंड अदर वुड बी एज आई सेंड कि आप स्पेंडिंग करो। स्पेंडिंग कहाँ करो, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाने में, रोड बनाने में, बिल्डिंग बनाने में, हाईवे बनाने में, कुछ भी बनाओ। तो बनाओगे तो जॉब जनरेट होगा। सो अदर कुड बी पब्लिक वर्क, बट जस्ट 2% पब्लिक वर्क था। मोस्टली लोगों ने क्या किया, इकोनॉमीज ने कैश ट्रांसफर कर दिया। Okay, so n number of ways could be there. Countries have significantly expanded coverage of the cash transfer program from the pre-COVID level। जो पहले करते थे उससे बढ़ा दिया। Why? People are losing job and they have less money in the hand, and one way कि आपको इकोनॉमी को रिवाइव करना है कि आप लोगों को पैसा दीजिए, and people will have money in their hand, they will start spending that money। Okay, so Bangladesh and Indonesia have increased the number of beneficiaries by almost this much percent। Indonesia cash scheme now cover more than 158 million people। Indonesia central government has direct village authorities to focus on their budget cash for work program। आप काम करो, हम आपको कैश देंगे। So these are the ways in which government can। But ये आर्टिकल क्या कह रहा है, आर्टिकल कह रहा है that now Indian government should also increase the cash transfer। They should increase मनरेगा payments। They should bring मनरेगा in urban area। मनरेगा अभी रूरल एरिया के लिए है। So they want to have a urban area job scheme as well। ठीक है, just yesterday I read that Delhi government is looking at urban job program। okay, urban को कोई नया job program वो start करेंगे, and people will get job and hence they will get money, और जब money आएगा they will start spending that money। so these are the ways in which government is trying to revive the economy। okay, in India, one reason for subdued fiscal response and resort to monetary measure is a concern for debt to GDP ratio। now India का जो debt to GDP ratio है that is around 70%। okay, यानी हमारी कंट्री का जो पूरा कर्जा है जीडीपी, that is around 70% of GDP। so debt to GDP is around 70%। तो हमारा जो पूरा नेशनल इनकम है उसका 70% डेट है। so this debt will further increase, ये और बढ़ जाएगा, तो पेमेंट will become more difficult in the coming years। okay, so aggregate demand and confidence in the economy have slumped and may not recover in many months, and additional fiscal outlay would save lives and jobs today and might prevent। तो इनका इस आर्टिकल का कहना है that government is the only savior and government have to revive the confidence and demand in the economy, and they have to spend now, and spending is the only way forward। otherwise economy जो है वो challenging will be challenging situation। So fiscal outlay in the form of cash and in kind transfer expanded public work scheme is the need of the hour. यानी अभी गवर्नमेंट को और स्पेंडिंग करना चाहिए, और जो कंसर्न्स है कि इकोनॉमी में पैसा नहीं आ रहा है, well those concerns are true, and here government will have to create a mechanism where this can be done. Okay, so that completes this article. This article is clear to everybody. थोड़ा technical article था, but I believe everything it must be clear to everybody. Okay, now another thing. Now India के पास एक और है, अगर गवर्नमेंट को फिस्कल स्टिमुलस को फाइनेंस करना है, that is fiscal stimulus को, where that money will come. So either it could be gold or it could be forex. तो एक डिबेट चल रहा है that इंडिया के पास जो बहुत सारा गोल्ड है, I'll give some data. Now on an average इंडियन इकोनॉमी में more than 20,000 tons का गोल्ड है. Okay, 20,000 ton गोल्ड कहाँ है हमारे पास, people like you and me, as per the government official report. Now one way that क्यों ना हम इस गोल्ड को यूज करें. Second is गवर्नमेंट के पास almost $500 billion का फॉरेक्स है. Okay, forex means dollar reserve. So some people are saying that why why can't the government use gold and forex reserve? So this article is basically discussing that possibility, and it's saying that gold and forex reserve is को आप use करना चाहते हो, but it has its own challenges. So let's discuss this. Prime Minister announced this package, and several unorthodox ideas have been floated to raise funds and without straining the government finances. Among the suggestions are printing of the currency, पहला, using forex reserve, second, and third is household gold. यानी हमारे पास जो गोल्ड है गवर्नमेंट वो करे. अब क्या गवर्नमेंट कर सकती है? The first is the government can print currency, but गवर्नमेंट का डेट मैनेजमेंट कौन करता है? The debt management of government, यानी गवर्नमेंट का जो पूरा कर्जा का मैनेजमेंट है, that RBI does the debt management. So RBI is doing the debt management of government of India. Now question here is that कि जो भी गवर्नमेंट का डेट है उसके बारे में समझते हैं. Let's look at the RBI's balance sheet. RBI के पास RBI has, you can say, power to raise money, to print currency. Okay, so they can print currency, they can print as much rupee as they want. RBI has gold reserve also, so RBI gold reserve को यूज कर सकता है. और RBI या इनके हमेशा इनके पास एक contingency measure होता है. दूसरा, RBI has forex, foreign exchange reserve. So these are the money, but again all this come with a liability also. इनका अपना एक liability है. So let's understand the liability of the government and let's understand that what are the assets of the. तो liability side पे government RBI का क्या liability है? It is a currency in circulation. Now आपने 500 rupees का नोट या 100 rupees का नोट अगर आप चेक करोगे तो उस पे क्या लिखा हुआ है? There is a signature of RBI governor. There is signature of RBI governor and it is written that मैं धारक को या फिर I pay to bearer this much amount of money. ऐसा ही कुछ लिखा हुआ है. You must have seen this. Okay. What does it mean? It means that the currency in circulation, it is a liability of government. वो जो पैसा सर्कुलेशन में आपके हाथ में है, that RBI has issued that currency and it is the RBI's liability. So वो liability है. दूसरा, commercial bank reserve. जो भी बैंक ऑफ कोई भी बैंक है, इंडियन बैंक जितने भी हैं, more than 12 nationalized banks are there, then their private banks are there. All of them keep certain money with RBI और वो होता है bank reserve. So commercial banks keep money with RBI. So एक reserve है जो which RBI will have to pay later. And third is government का भी reserve RBI रखती है. So these are the liabilities of RBI. The second is what are the assets of the RBI? As I mentioned, forex, then gold, and third is government security. Now government security, when government security क्या होता है? Government security bond are same. So when government issues bond, वो कौन issue करता है? RBI issue करती है. So इस पूरे process में RBI को earnings होती है. और दूसरा, कई बार कुछ लोग गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज आरबीआई के पास रखवाते हैं एंड मेनी टाइम्स आरबीआई इश्यूज गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी. सो इस गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी से आरबीआई के अर्निंग्स होती हैं. सो दिस इज आल्सो असेट साइड. सो असेट साइड में आपका फॉरेक्स होगा या गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी होगी या गोल्ड होगा. यानी दिस इज द मे बी यू कैन से इनकम और यू कैन से दिस इज द वेल्थ ऑफ आरबीआई एंड दिस इज द डेट ऑफ आरबीआई. नाउ the point here is that the balancing item represents the central bank's equity and accumulated surplus. तो ये आरबीआई के पास जो है रेवेन्यूज है. Okay, so Mahima has a question. Why do government reserve under liability size? because Mahima, RBI will have to give the money back to the government. गवर्नमेंट का रिजर्व है, गवर्नमेंट ने अपना पैसा आरबीआई के पास रखवाया हुआ है, सो गवर्नमेंट का रिजर्व है, राइट? सो आरबीआई विल हैव टू पे दैट मनी टू द गवर्नमेंट, राइट? ओके, so this is how the entire thing is. Now अब क्या करने हैं, आरबीआई एक ऑप्शन है दैट आरबीआई कैन प्रिंट करेंसी, आरबीआई प्रिंट कर सकता है, बट प्रिंटिंग में क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है, एनी न्यू करेंसी, कोई भी न्यू करेंसी आप प्रिंट करते हो, सो इट क्रिएट्स लायबिलिटीज, बिकॉज अगर आप प्रिंट करोगे तो यू विल प्रिंट अगेंस्ट समथिंग, इधर विल प्रिंट, आप गोल्ड रखोगे या गोल्ड के अगेंस्ट प्रिंटिंग करोगे, या फिर आप गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी जनरेट करोगे एंड उसके अगेंस्ट करेंसी प्रिंट करोगे. सो दिस इज चैलेंज. सो फर्स्ट, doing this would increase the liabilities of RBI because currency in circulation अपने आप एक liability है, but it needs to first acquire asset before to offset this increase in liability. तो पहले अगर RBI को नया रुपी प्रिंट करना होगा तो उसको एक asset भी create करना होगा, against that asset RBI can print currency. The asset could be government securities, forex reserve or gold. One way for this government to finance expenditure would be to increase the government bond and ask RBI to print currency. तो एक तरीका ये है जैसे मैंने बताया कि RBI करेंसी को प्रिंट करेगी, बट प्रिंट किसके बिहाफ पे करेगी, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के बिहाफ पे करेगी. सो अल्टीमेटली गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का डेट बढ़ जाएगा, सो दिस विल इंक्रीज द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडियाज डेट. भाई आप देखो इकोनॉमी में जो रुपी प्रिंट होता है, इट इज नॉट प्रिंटेड, इट इज प्रिंटेड एज पर इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. अगर इकोनॉमी चलेगी तभी आप रुपी प्रिंट करोगे. राइट नाउ इकोनॉमी जो नहीं चल रही है एंड देन स्टिल यू आर प्रिंटिंग, व्हिच मींस दैट विल ऐड टू द डेट टू द इकोनॉमी. ओके, सो इट इज वेरी इजी टू प्रिंट मनी, but problem is that economic activity जब होगा तब आपको प्रिंट करना चाहिए. when economic activity is not happening then printing will create problems, because क्या होगा, मनी सप्लाई बढ़ जाएगा, मनी ज्यादा हो जाएगा, और जब मनी सप्लाई बढ़ जाएगा तो that will cause inflation, महंगाई हो जाएगा, मनी की वैल्यू कम हो जाएगा. and that is where it is important that printing money should be done very cautiously. it should be the last resort. आप ऐसे normally print मत करो, print तब करो when you feel that this money which I am printing extra will create debt and I'm in a situation to pay debt. कल शायद मैं debt को वापस pay कर पाऊं. Okay, so that is printing currency. The second is monetization of gold. अब हमारे आपके पास gold है, right? Parents के पास gold होगा. So let's say you have gold. Now since you have gold, can we monetize the gold? Monetize मतलब गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया आपको कहे, हमको कहे कि give us gold, हमें gold दे दो, और इन रिटर्न विल गिव यू इंटरेस्ट ऑन द गोल्ड. ठीक है, आपको हम गोल्ड पे इंटरेस्ट देंगे, फिर ये गोल्ड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया आरबीआई को दे देगा, और आरबीआई इस गोल्ड को यूज करके इसके अगेंस्ट न्यू करेंसी प्रिंट करेगा. यानी द करेंसी का वैल्यू कहां से आ रहा है, गोल्ड से आ रहा है, बट इसमें भी तो वही होगा, डेट विल बी क्रिएटेड. ओके, सो फर्स्ट दिस वुड इन्वॉल्व फर्स्ट गवर्नमेंट बाइंग गोल्ड फ्रॉम हाउस होल्ड इन एक्सचेंज फॉर द बॉन्ड्स. Then accumulated gold would be bought by RBI from the government with newly printed currency. In this case, instead of increasing new money to acquire government, RBI will doing the same to acquire gold. और इससे भी क्या होगा, डेट बढ़ेगा. एक तरीका ये है कि RBI हमारे पास आए, गवर्नमेंट हमारे पास आए, हमसे गोल्ड ले और गोल्ड के अगेंस्ट हमें इंटरेस्ट दे इन फ्यूचर, बट अगेन दैट विल दैट वुड बी वन वे. इसको हम लोग गोल्ड मोनेटाइजेशन स्कीम कहते हैं. दैट मीन्स हम गोल्ड को मोनेटाइज कर रहे हैं. The only problem with this scheme is that इसका जो पास सक्सेस है वो बहुत लेस है. सो अगर हमने गोल्ड दिया, मान लो आपके पास गोल्ड है, 10 ग्राम गोल्ड है, एंड 10 ग्राम का वैल्यू अभी कितना, 50,000 रुपीज है, लेट्स से. सो आपने आरबीआई को, आपने गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को कहा, गवर्नमेंट ने आपको कहा कि ये गोल्ड मुझे दो 50,000 का, और इसमें मैं इंटरेस्ट भी आपको पे करूंगा, बहुत कम होगा, मे बी 1% होगा या जो भी होगा. सो यू गिव दिस सो आपने गोल्ड दिया और गवर्नमेंट ने आपको पेमेंट जो है कर दिया. ठीक है, और यहाँ पे जो गोल्ड है उसको आरबीआई जो है, अच्छा यहाँ गवर्नमेंट पेमेंट आपको डायरेक्टली नहीं करेगी, यहाँ गवर्नमेंट पेमेंट की जगह आपको बॉन्ड देगी. ओके, सो गवर्नमेंट विल नॉट पे यू राइट अवे, गवर्नमेंट आपको फ्यूचर डेट में पे करेगी. ओके, सो गवर्नमेंट कहेगी आपको 1 ईयर बाद हम बॉन्ड में देंगे, जो कि जिसको आप कैश कर सकते हो विद इंटरेस्ट. सो हियर ऑल्सो गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट गोइंग टू गिव यू कैश टुडे, गवर्नमेंट इज जस्ट गोइंग टू टेक द गोल्ड फ्रॉम यू एंड विल गिव यू अ बॉन्ड विद इंटरेस्ट, जो आपको मे बी फ्यूचर में मिलेगा, and government will use that gold and give it to RBI, और RBI उसके अगेंस्ट रुपी प्रिंट करेगा. You getting what? It is a complex process. So second is monetization of gold. तो हम लोग क्या कह रहे हैं, गोल्ड को हम मोनेटाइज कर रहे हैं. थर्ड इज RBI's फॉरेक्स रिजर्व. RBI अपना जो फॉरेक्स रिजर्व है $500 बिलियन का, उसको यूज करे. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रोसेस। मान लीजिए अमेरिका से, यूएसए से इन्वेस्टमेंट आ रहा है $1 million। So $1 million is, let's say, around 7 lakh crore, 7 crore, ठीक है। So if this money $1 million is coming to India, तो ये जो भी $1 आता है, that dollar will have to convert to rupee, यानी ये रुपी में कन्वर्ट होगा। So every reserve that we have in India, ये जो पूरा 500 रिजर्व जो इंडिया में आया है, that reserve is already converted to rupee, यानी रिजर्व ऑलरेडी रुपी में कन्वर्ट हुआ है, बिकॉज ये रिजर्व हमारी इकोनॉमी में आया है, somebody has invested this money or it has come from, maybe some through other sources, तो इनकम के थ्रू आया होगा या जो भी इसके थ्रू आया होगा, एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट के थ्रू आया होगा। सो इफ दैट मनी इज कमिंग, दैट इज कन्वर्ट टू रूपी। तो every dollar of forex shown by RBI on the asset side, equivalent rupee amount has already been created in the liability side, यानी हमने ऑलरेडी रूपी को ऐड किया है। एंड अगर RBI, this because whenever RBI acquires foreign currency, it pays for it using Indian rupee. Thus no additional currency can be printed against such already acquired reserve. The only way our forex reserve can be used for generating additional supplies by pledging them to third party, यानी हमने अपने जो फॉरेक्स है वो हमने एक थर्ड पार्टी को दे दिया और उनसे हमने कहा कि भाई आप उसकी जगह पे हमें पैसा दे दो, पे अस मनी। Okay, so that is the only way. So these are three ways to generate money. लेकिन ये सबसे जो easy, simple और simple way है, that is printing money. Printing money is the most easy process where you can generate on the money in the economy. Okay. So pledging RBI raise fund done only, but ऐसा RBI forex reserve को pledge करना ये crisis में करते हैं, so we should not do that. And there are three ways to finance the government expenditure: taxes, debt, and asset sale. Taxes and asset sale can pitch in bid for the stimulus bill. Taxes बढ़ा नहीं सकते हैं, एक काम कर सकते हैं, हम asset sale कर दें। Asset sale मतलब गवर्नमेंट कुछ भी PSUs को सेल कर दे, एयर इंडिया को सेल कर दे, जिसको भी सेल कर दे, खरीदने वाले तो नहीं है, बट लेट्स से। So these are the only ways these can be there. Okay, so we have to generate but gold and forex cannot be used, which means the only way forward is that printing currency. But printing currency से क्या होगा? Money supply बढ़ जाएगा and there will be inflation in the economy. तो हमें printing currency करके हम we have to invest in the economy in such a way that inflation generate ना हो, that means महंगाई generate ना हो. So that is the only way we can create mechanism. This part is clear to everybody? सबको समझ में आया how this the entire thing is working? थोड़ा टेक्निकल है बेटा, घबराना नहीं, but I think मोटा मोटी समझना आना चाहिए, because I'll be taking these concept in economy. Okay, because see, generating revenue is easier, but that generating revenue from the economy can come only either through taxes or selling the asset of the government or through creating debt. तो अभी तो मुझे सिर्फ एक रास्ता नजर आ रहा है. Okay, Mahima has a question. How does money supply increase inflation? Okay, Mahima, देखते हैं. So let's say this is the money supply. Money supply is X और economy में goods and services कितने हैं? Let's say Y. This is pre-COVID time. Pre-COVID time. अभी क्या किया? Goods and service नहीं बढ़ा और हमने money supply को बढ़ा दिया. हमने नया COVID times, COVID period. आपने क्या किया? नया मनी प्रिंट करके यहाँ ऐड कर दिया. Now remember, इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी नहीं हुई है. Now, if you try to see the pre-COVID, Y amount of goods and services is available at X rupees. Okay. Now, the same Y amount of good is now available at X plus A. Am I right? So X plus A मतलब more money, which means महंगा हो गया, inflation. So once you add the money supply and economic activity नहीं बढ़ती है, आप नया नोट प्रिंट कर रहे हो बट इकोनॉमी में एक्टिविटी बिजनेस नहीं हो रहा है या कुछ प्रोड्यूस नहीं हो रहा है, then that is a problem, which means आपको मनी जो इंक्रीज करना है उसका मनी इंक्रीज आप तभी करोगे when there is a business activity happening. For example, money flows, money generate more money, money generate more, money flows. आपने let's say आपने 1000 रुपीज का, आपने 1000 रुपीज से बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया, आपने 1000 रुपीज से बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया एंड आपने उसको 2000 रुपीज बना दिया. सो नाउ आपने उसको 2000 रुपीज बनाया, सो दिस इज व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. आपने बिजनेस एक्टिविटी के थ्रू पैसा बढ़ाया. नाउ दैट इज ओके, बट अगर मैं कहता हूं कि हमारी इकोनॉमी में हमने पैसा बढ़ाया ही नहीं, गुड्स एंड सर्विस कुछ बनाया ही नहीं कुछ, तो फिर हम मनी कैसे बढ़ाएंगे? तो मनी, एक्स्ट्रा मनी हम तभी प्रिंट होगा. आरबीआई क्या करती है? आरबीआई कीप अ टैब ऑन दिस. आरबीआई हमेशा इंडिया की इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी को मेजर करती है. And based on the measurement, whatever is the increase in the economic activity, RBI will print money. तो आरबीआई मनी प्रिंट तभी करता है व्हेन आरबीआई सीज देयर इज इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी, बट टुडे इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज आर स्टैंड स्टिल, या कम हो रहा है या लेस हो रहा है देन व्हाट इट वाज अर्लियर. सो हियर इफ आरबीआई प्रिंट्स मोर मनी देन द इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी, इट विल कॉज इन्फ्लेशन. क्लियर हुआ महिमा? आई थिंक दिस क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी. इन्फ्लेशन क्यों हो रहा है? बिकॉज आप मनी ज्यादा प्रिंट कर रहे हो, और जब मनी प्रिंट कर रहे हो तो वैल्यू ऑफ मनी कम हो जाएगा. Okay, this is a basic concept of inflation. We'll study that in the economics lecture, advanced lecture. जब हम लोग economics पढ़ेंगे, inflation पढ़ेंगे तो वहाँ याद समझाऊंगा. Okay, so that completes the two technical topic. Now I'll go again on the topic which are important. मैं important topics पहले पढ़ा लेता हूँ technical, and then जो factual है I'll take that. Now again there is a news of strategic and non-strategic sectors of industries. But let's try and understand. Government right now is looking all the ways to generate revenue. मैंने क्या कहा? There are three ways to generate revenue. One is taxes, दूसरा है asset sale, and third is government might create debt. Government कर्जा ले ले. But ये जो debt वाला part है, it is tricky. Why? Because if you take debt today, you have to pay it tomorrow. Okay? And tomorrow का हमें पता नहीं when the economy will revive. What government knows that till the time vaccine is there, जब तक vaccine नहीं आएगी तब तक economic activity normal नहीं होगा. Government knows this. आप सोचो, I'll ask you people, how many of you, because I can see many of my students who are in Delhi, how many of you or how many of your parents will allow you to go to a Delhi college, to your college in Delhi on a regular basis, or allow you to come to the institute where we can study together? कितने लोग के parents allow करेंगे वो institute पे आगे पढ़ें? Or how many people's parents will allow you to visit the centers normally as you were doing probably 6 months ago? Very few or none. किसी को allow करोगे? Government allow करेगी? Parents allow करेंगे? Not mine. No. Okay, so Bini says no, Mahima is no. Okay, so जब तक vaccine नहीं आएगा कुछ नहीं होने वाला, right? Because there is a lot of insecurity. COVID is a normal disease, it's a normal infection, but COVID के बारे में हमें पता नहीं है. Okay, and the reason why COVID के बारे में पता नहीं है because maybe in 95% cases everything is okay, but in next 5% cases we have no information. Recently आपका न्यूयॉर्क में cases came where I remember my sister lives in the USA, so I was having a word with her, and this was when the lockdown started in India, and she said schools are open here. I said, how come you're allowing the children to go to the school? She said schools are open here, and then she took a decision. She did not allow her kids to go to the school. But then what happened in New York? The students got infected with COVID-19, and then students started infecting. उन्होंने schools को close कर दिया. अभी उसके बाद क्या हुआ? The student got they recovered, but then after recovery their immune system got weak. उनका immune system weak हो गया. When their immune system got weak, then what happened? They started contracting new kind of disease which was unusual. वो वैसे disease उन्होंने पहले देखा नहीं था. And that disease was similar to a disease called Kawasaki disease, which is a rare disease. So this is ये कब हुआ? When आपका immune आप COVID-19 से आप recover हो गए, but still your immune is weak and children are facing this, and that kind of created panic in America, and then they close all the school. Today, probably in August they are saying that we are trying to open the school, but parents are not ready. Some parents are ready because both of them working, but again we don't know. So the point I want to make here is that unless and until the vaccine comes in, the economic activity will not be normal, because the uncertainty which this COVID-19 has created in the minds of the people is a big challenge. Now, so abhi government kya kar rahi hai? Government is trying to generate revenue from one more side, asset sale. What are asset? Government ka asset kya hota hai? The government asset is the public sector enterprises. Now PSUs दो तरह के होते हैं. One is called the strategic PSUs. PSUs like railway or ONGC, okay, or Indian Oil Corporation, NTPC, okay, Coal India Limited. So all these are PSU. So PSUs two type होते हैं, public sector undertakings. Strategic हो सकता है या non-strategic हो सकता है. Strategic means which are important. They are important for the economy. It is affecting other sectors also, linked with other sectors. Okay, so government in a normal situation, government always wants to retain the strategic PSU. वो strategic PSU को बेचना नहीं चाहती है, because जो strategic PSUs हैं, they are also good. in terms of earning, ये profit भी generate कर रहे हैं. So government does not want to sell. Then there are non-strategic, जिसको government लगता है they can sell, so this can be sold. But again, there's a problem. जो non-strategic PSUs हैं, what if they are in losses? अभी आपको कोई business loss में चल रहा है and you want to sell that business. So how many people will purchase that business? Very few. So this is the problem, and hence government felt that the only way to generate revenue is to now even sell the strategic PSUs. हमको strategic PSUs को भी हमें बेचना होगा, industries को बेचना होगा, and मान लो banking sector strategic PSU है, तो सारे भी है बैंकिंग जो हम लोग 12 PS पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स हैं, तो गवर्नमेंट ने कहा इन 12 में से आई विल रिटेन 8 एंड सेल 4. बट ये 4 कौन से होंगे? विल मेक नाउ ये बैंक्स अच्छा कर रहे हैं, सो ऑटोमेटिकली पीपल विल परचेज दिस बैंक and that way government will generate revenue. The question here is that is it a good approach or bad approach? Now remember, it is not about good and bad. It is mostly about that government is not having revenue. Government is facing challenges. Government is having challenges of generating revenue. So the only way government can do that, they have to sell their profit making assets as well. So profit making assets को हम बेचेंगे and then only revenue can be generated. And in future वो जो profit making assets हैं वो anyway government को tax pay करेंगे. So government is not going to lose. So let's understand this debate of strategic and non-strategic PSUs. तो पहले strategic PSUs का definition थोड़ा narrow था. Now government has widened. So government will soon kick out policy of strategic sectors and simultaneously kick into motion a process of complete privatization for companies in the non-strategic sector. What are strategic and non-strategic? An industry is considered strategic if it has large innovative spillover and if it provides substantial infrastructure for other firms in the same or related industry. यानी एक ऐसा इंडस्ट्री जो बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज को इम्पैक्ट करता हो. फॉर एग्जांपल ऑयल इंडस्ट्री. ऑयल इंडस्ट्री और फ्यूल इंडस्ट्री इम्पैक्ट्स ऑलमोस्ट एवरी इंडस्ट्री इन द इकोनॉमी. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, टूरिज्म, लॉजिस्टिक्स. तो ये एक स्ट्रेटेजिक इंडस्ट्री हो गया. Earlier strategic sectors were defined on the basis of industrial policy. The government has classified central public sector enterprises as strategic and non-strategic on the basis of industrial policy that kept changing from time to time. According to this, strategic sector PSUs are arms and ammunition of defense equipment, defense aircraft and warship, atomic energy, application of radiation to agriculture, medicine and non-strategic industry, railways. Today, banking, insurance, defense, energy are also likely to be part of strategic sector list. All other PSUs apart from the strategic sector fall under non-strategic sector, including power, DISCOM. DISCOM मतलब distribution companies. यानी इन सेक्टर्स को छोड़ के the other sectors are non-strategic. Under the self-sufficiency move, the proposed policy would notify the list of strategic sectors, requiring the presence of at least one state-owned along with the private. अब देखो यहाँ पे एक और चीज है. अब strategic sector में भी government एक change ला रही है that in the strategic sector, let's say there are 4 companies are there. Okay, so in 4 now remember all the 4 companies are doing well. यहाँ पे भी government क्या कर रही है, इसमें से 1 company को sell कर देगी and they will try to keep 2. और इस 4 company में से 3 को merge करके एक बना देगी and they will sell 1. So it depends how government will so अभी का क्या है, government is thinking of merger, making bigger companies and selling the smaller one, generate revenue, and सबको नहीं बेचेगी ताकि competition भी रहे. In all the sectors, government plan to privatize public sector enterprise depending on the feasibility. तो मान लो यहाँ पे तो ये करेंगे, but other जो sectors है non-strategic है, उनको government will eventually sell over a period of time. Government उनको sell करके government will be able to overcome the entire problem. The number of enterprises in strategic sector will only be 1, 2, 4, and others will be privatized, merged or brought under holding company structure. यानी मैंने आपको बताया a very good example is जैसे Indian Oil, IOC, HPCL, BPCL. Now ये तीनों बहुत बड़ी कंपनी थी, but Indian Oil Company it's like almost 80% इनकी ये कंट्रोल करती इकोनॉमी, ऑयल इकोनॉमी को. ये 10% हो गया. Let's say this again 10%. तो गवर्नमेंट ने कहा ये IOC को वो नहीं बेचेंगे, बट ये इसमें से BPCL को, ONGC को बेच दिया. ना ये जो HPCL को, BPCL को गवर्नमेंट जो सेल करना चाहती है. So this is what government is thinking. But आप देखो ना, ये ऑलरेडी बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है and it has huge profit. So people will purchase this company, the big business will purchase this company, and that is how government को sell करके government revenue generate करेगा. And it will have 2 advantages. Government will generate revenue, and secondly, जो हमारी existing company उनसे उनका competition ही बढ़ जाएगा, because private company will operate this company more efficiently. And once it is operated more efficiently, automatically you can say the profit will increase, और जब profit बढ़ेगा तो government will get tax revenue. So government has already set in the motion privatization plans for large PSU companies like BPCL, as I mentioned, Air India, Container Corporation of India, and Shipping Corporation of India. Budget 2021 has announced plans to sell part of the center's stake in LIC. LIC में भी government around 10% sell करना चाहती है through initial public offer and sale of equity in Idea Bank. Equity मतलब shares. So IDBI Bank was share to private, retail and institutional investors. तो budget में already कहा है कि government sell करना चाहती है, and here government wants to raise around 2.1 lakh crore. So let's see. अब इस COVID-19 में कोई खरीदेगा नहीं खरीदेगा, that's a big challenge. But definitely government is very serious on selling these areas, because government is looking all the options to generate revenue. Revenue is a big challenge right now. Government को बहुत concerns है revenue के, because revenue नहीं आएगा तो economy कैसे चलेगी, business कैसे बढ़ेगा, and how will things move. Okay, so that is the need. So emphasis on privatization could see companies in chemicals and infrastructure being privatized. यानी जो companies government की chemical है, infrastructure की है, they will be privatized. While the government has stated its intent to reduce number of state-owned banks, number of state-owned banks को कम करेगी और इसको sell करेगी. This could see some smaller banks being privatized in due course. तो इस तरीके से government is thinking of privatizing, or maybe selling their assets. And assets could be of two parts, strategic and non-strategic. Non-strategic को तो पूरा बेचेंगे. Even in strategic, they might sell a part of it. But ये evolving policy है. We will know with time that how this policy is evolving. So that completes this sector. Now I'll come to one more topic. That is science and tech topic. So I'll come to that, and then we'll this Kakra Par Atomic Power Project. So this is in news. It is in Gujarat, and why it is in news, that उसका एक plant है, nuclear power plant है, and the power plant is around 700 megawatt, and this plant has reached criticality. Reach criticality का मतलब now it will generate power. Power plants, जो nuclear power plants होते हैं, so they take a lot of time, because it is not simple. Now let's explain how the entire power projects work. Now mostly the power projects are based on, ये क्या use करते हैं, they use nuclear fissile material. ठीक है, nuclear fissile material होता है, जैसे यूरेनियम हो गया, प्लूटोनियम हो गया. अब ये जो मटेरियल होते हैं, इसमें जो हैवी एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, जैसे यूरेनियम हो गया, ये हैवी एलिमेंट हो गए, हैवी एलिमेंट हो गए, दे ब्रेक डाउन, ये ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं. और हम ब्रेक डाउन कैसे करते हैं, जैसे हमने यूरेनियम लिया, तो यूरेनियम में हमने न्यूट्रॉन्स को हिट किया. ओके, न्यूट्रॉन्स को हिट किया एट अ वेरी हाई स्पीड. व्हेन द न्यूट्रॉन हिट्स दिस यूरेनियम स्प्लिट्स इनटू स्मॉल पार्ट्स. ठीक है, एंड ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी इज रिलीज, बहुत सारा एनर्जी रिलीज होता है. एंड प्लस देयर आर फर्दर न्यूट्रॉन्स. अभी 1n है, ऐसे 2n और जनरेट होंगे, 1n, वन मोर n. अब देखो, 1 न्यूट्रॉन हिटिंग यूरेनियम एंड एनर्जी इज रिलीज. अभी जो 3 एक्स्ट्रा न्यूट्रॉन्स है, वो फर्दर यूरेनियम को हिट करेंगे. ओके, सो अभी 1 न्यूट्रॉन जो आपने यूरेनियम में हिट किया, 3 एक्स्ट्रा वो जनरेटेड, दैट अगेन एट अ वेरी हाई स्पीड अगेन यूरेनियम को हिट करेंगे. तो फिर अगेन मे बी एनर्जी रिलीज होगी और फिर एक्स्ट्रा न्यूट्रॉन जनरेट होंगे, और इस तरह से देयर विल बी अ चेन रिएक्शन, एंड दिस चेन रिएक्शन विल जनरेट लॉट ऑफ हीट. इससे हीट जनरेट होता है. अब इस हीट से क्या करते हैं हम, इस हीट को हम लोग टर्बाइंस रन करते हैं, और हम स्टीम टर्बाइंस बनाते हैं. सो हीट से हम क्या करते हैं, स्टीम टर्बाइंस जनरेट करते हैं, एंड दिस स्टीम टर्बाइन मूव्स द मोटर्स. ठीक है, स्टीम से जनरेट होता है, एंड मोटर्स मूव होते हैं. हाई स्टीम जनरेट होता है, एंड हाई स्टीम जो है वो मोटर्स को मूव करता है, एनर्जी रिलीज, और उससे क्या होता है, देन पावर जनरेशन हैपेंस. तो ये दिस इज द होल प्रोसेस ऑफ द न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट. बट यहाँ प्रॉब्लम क्या है, ये जो न्यूट्रॉन हिट करता है, व्हेन द न्यूट्रॉन हिट्स द यूरेनियम और व्हेन द एक्स्ट्रा न्यूट्रॉन्स आर हिट, ये इसको कंट्रोल करना पड़ता है. एंड दिस प्रोसेस ऑफ कंट्रोलिंग न्यूट्रॉन, वेयर इट रीचेस अ स्टेबल स्टेज, जब वो स्टेबल स्टेज पे पहुंच जाता है, ठीक है, और स्टेबल स्टेज पर व्हेन द पावर जनरेशन स्टार्ट्स, देन यू कैन से दैट इज कॉल्ड दैट प्लांट हैज अचीव्ड क्रिटिकलिटी। अ प्लांट, ए न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट क्रिटिकलिटी तभी रीच करता है जब वो पावर जनरेट करता है एंड एक स्टेबल जो चेन रिएक्शन है वो स्टेबल हो गया है, वो बहुत ज्यादा नहीं हो रहा है, इट इज कांस्टेंट। बिकॉज इन अ नॉर्मल सिचुएशन जब फिजन होता है, फिजन मतलब ब्रेक डाउन मटेरियल, फिजन मतलब बिग मटेरियल ब्रेक डाउन स्मॉल मटेरियल, तो ये जो है फिजन होता है तो दैट इज, मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं। अब ये देखो, ये इनकमिंग न्यूट्रॉन है, यूरेनियम है, ओके, इट हिट्स, तो इसको हाई एनर्जी से हिट करता है एंड व्हेन इट हिट्स, यू कैन सी टू स्मॉलर पार्टिकल्स निकलते हैं एंड देयर इज अ फ्री न्यूट्रॉन आल्सो, और फिर यहाँ एनर्जी रिलीज होती है, ओके। और ये जो फ्री न्यूट्रॉन है वो फर्दर नेक्स्ट न्यूट्रॉन को हिट करता है, सॉरी यूरेनियम को हिट करता है, एंड दैट इज हाउ चेन रिएक्शन हैपेंस, ओके। How do we stop? नहीं, Ajit has a question. How do we stop this chain reaction? Ajit, we don't stop this chain reaction. We control this chain reaction. Okay? हम लोग कैसे कंट्रोल करते हैं? हम लोग यहाँ पर मॉडरेटर्स यूज करते हैं, and these moderators are like material like cadmium या बोरॉन रॉड्स होते हैं। तो ये दे एब्जॉर्ब द न्यूट्रॉन, वो न्यूट्रॉन को एब्जॉर्ब कर लेते हैं। तो जो एक्स्ट्रा न्यूट्रॉन को देखो, यू कैन, देयर आर टू, एक न्यूट्रॉन ने हिट किया, देयर वर टू फ्री न्यूट्रॉन, सो ये जो मॉडरेटर है इनको एब्जॉर्ब कर लेंगे। सो इन द कंट्रोलिंग व्हाट वी डू, जो मोर देन या एक्स्ट्रा जो न्यूट्रॉन्स होंगे दैट विल बी एब्जॉर्ब, सो दैट चेन रिएक्शन कैन बी कंट्रोल्ड। द आइडिया इज टू कंट्रोल द चेन रिएक्शन, और जो एनर्जी जनरेट होगा, वट एवर इज द एनर्जी जनरेटेड, दैट विल यू कैन से क्रिएट maybe energy, okay, उससे पावर जनरेशन होगा। न्यूट्रॉन्स हैव एनी लिमिटेड लाइफ? संदीप, दिस इज नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट। आई मीन न्यूट्रॉन्स का लाइफ तो होगा ही डेफिनेटली, न्यूट्रॉन्स का लाइफ वही है जब तक वो हिट करता है, ओके। सो ये वेरी हाई फास्ट मूविंग न्यूट्रॉन्स है, दीज आर नॉट न्यूट्रॉन्स लाइक, दीज आर वेरी हाई केमिकली इंड्यूस्ड और न्यूट्रॉन्स है, ठीक है। सो दैट इज हाउ फिजन रिएक्शन होता है। और फिजन रिएक्शन कहाँ से होता है? यूरेनियम होगा, प्लैटिनियम, प्लूटोनियम हो गया, तो ये सारा यूरेनियम जो है होता है, ओके। सो नेचुरल यूरेनियम जो होता है, जो हम लोग माइनिंग के थ्रू मिलता है, इसमें 99.3 जो है वो फर्टाइल होता है। फर्टाइल मतलब इट कैन नॉट जनरेट चेन रिएक्शन, उसमें सिर्फ 0.7% कैन जनरेट चेन रिएक्शन, ओके। सो इसलिए यूरेनियम 235 इज यूज्ड। अब यहाँ देखो, यूरेनियम 235 है, फर्टाइल है, ठीक है, और ये फिजाइल है। फिजाइल मींस इट कैन जनरेट चेन रिएक्शन, सेल्फ सस्टेनिंग चेन रिएक्शन। बट जो फर्टाइल है, अगर इसमें हम न्यूट्रॉन को एब्जॉर्ब करा दें, देन द प्लूटोनियम बन जाएगा, एंड दिस प्लूटोनियम इज अगेन विल जनरेट चेन रिएक्शन। सो नेचुरल यूरेनियम में हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम उसको इनरिच करते रहते हैं, वी ऐड और वी इनरिच देम। जब इनरिच करते हैं, सो इट जनरेट चेन रिएक्शन, okay, so that is how the entire chain reaction happens. Fusion must be slowed down to enhance the chance of inducing further fission. Such reactors which use to slow down neutrons by the repeated collision with moderator are called thermal reactors. तो आपने देखा होगा ऐसे बड़ा बड़ा करके प्लांट होता है थर्मल रिएक्टर करके। तो यहाँ पर क्या होता है, यहाँ पर कंट्रोल रॉड्स होते हैं ऐसे, और ये कंट्रोल रॉड्स न्यूट्रॉन्स को एब्जॉर्ब करते हैं, एक्स्ट्रा न्यूट्रॉन्स को। Because अगर if neutron are more than the required neutron, it will generate chain reaction, and that chain reaction will create a lot of pressure. So हमें वो extra neutrons को हमें control करना है, और इसको, इस पूरे reactor को हम क्या कहते हैं, pressurized heavy water reactor, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे हम pressurize, एक pressure में heavy water को use करते हैं, and this reactor induces a chain reaction, but that has to be controlled. Okay, so there are two kind of reactor, they can be light water reactor, it can be heavy water reactor, okay. Now what is criticality of nuclear reactors? If more than one neutron is available for the reaction, the rate of fission increases, and then the time is called supercritical. This is not wanted, because इससे क्या होगा, इससे ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा तो it will generate heat and blast will happen. बहुत ज्यादा कर देंगे तो न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब बन जाएगा। If exactly one neutron is available for fission, then such reaction is called critical. तो यही हो गया critical, यानी critical हो गया, यानी the reaction is controlled now, और कंट्रोल करके हम कांस्टेंट हीट जनरेट करेंगे। नाउ इफ लेस देन 1 न्यूट्रॉन होगा तो पावर प्लांट चलेगा ही नहीं, जिसको हम सब क्रिटिकल बोलेंगे। तो criticality is a process where we control the fission reaction in a nuclear reactor and the chain reaction is controlled and we are able to generate power constantly। ठीक है, तो नॉर्मल केसेस में जो है इस तरह से होता है। okay, so this is the indigenously developed 700 megawatt reactor at Kakrapar has achieved criticality। okay, and what is criticality? ये मैंने सारा समझाया, वही इसमें mentioned है। A nuclear reactor achieves criticality when each fission event releases sufficient number of neutrons to sustain the ongoing series of reaction। Okay, so that is it। इसमें मैंने पूरा process बताया कि how you know that it splits and smaller nuclei and all, तो मैंने explain किया, वो सब mentioned है। Reactors are at the heart of power plant where controlled nuclear fission reaction takes place that produces heat। Okay, as I mentioned, heat is generated, and when the heat is generated, which is used to generate steam, and that spins the turbine, steam generate होता है। Remember, the heat is very high heat। I mean, this is a nuclear। आप सोचो ना, अगर ये heat control नहीं होगा तो nuclear bomb बन जाएगा। So this is very high heat and that generates steam because वो heat को हम एक एरिया में फ्लो करते हैं जहां वाटर होता है, तो जनरेट स्टीम, और वो स्टीम हाई प्रेशर जनरेट करता है एंड दैट मूव्स द टरबाइन, एंड दैट इज हाउ व्हेन द टरबाइन इज मूव्ड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज जनरेटेड। okay, so this is the criticality। so controlling criticality is very important। when the reactor is starting up, the number of neutrons is increased slowly in a controlled manner। neutron absorbing control rods in the reactor core are usually to calibrate neutron production। the control rods could be made of cadmium, boron और हैफनियम। ठीक है, ये कुछ मटेरियल है जो हम लोग न्यूट्रॉन को एब्जॉर्ब करने में यूज करते हैं। The deeper the rods are loaded into reactor core, the more neutrons rods absorb and less fission occurs। Technicians pull up or lower down the control rod into the reactor core depending on whether more or less fission, neutron production and power are desired। If malfunction occurs, technician can remotely plunge the control rod into the reactor core and soak up the neutron and shut the nuclear reaction। अगर कहीं ऐसा लगता है कि एक्सीडेंट हो सकता है तो वो सारा कंट्रोल रॉड डाल के सारे न्यूट्रॉन्स को एब्जॉर्ब करते हैं एंड दैट कैन स्टॉप द चेन रिएक्शन। अब फिर जीरो से प्रोसेस स्टार्ट करना होता है। सो इन अ नॉर्मल सिचुएशन इस चेन रिएक्शन को क्रिटिकलिटी अचीव करने में बहुत टाइम लगता है। इट टेक इयर्स टू रीच दैट एंड इट इज अ हाईली कंट्रोल्ड प्रोसेस। नाउ क्वेश्चन इज दैट व्हाई वी आर डिस्कसिंग दिस, बिकॉज ये जो क्रिटिकलिटी अटेन किया है प्लांट, इट इज हाईली इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज ये जो प्लांट है वो इंडिया ने खुद बनाया है, इंडिजिनसली बिल्ड। वी हैव नॉट टेकन हेल्प एंड वी आर यूजिंग प्रेशराइज्ड हेवी वाटर रिएक्टर। ठीक है, it used natural aeration as user fuel and heavy water as a moderator। until now the biggest reactor of indigenous design was 540 megawatt, okay, which was in Tarapur, Maharashtra, और ये अभी तक का biggest है। so India has ramped up its production of nuclear facility। अभी कभी इतना है, ठीक है, अभी हमारा 6780 megawatt हम लोग power generate करते हैं and we want to increase it to 22 megawatt by 2021। okay, so it is the biggest component of the expansion plan। ये आप पढ़ सकते हो। सो हाउ दिस द इंडिया फ्यूचर टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप हुआ। अच्छा, इंडिया में हमारा जो ये इंडिया न्यूक्लियर प्लान इज 3 स्टेज, तो ये हमारा फर्स्ट स्टेज है। सो फर्स्ट स्टेज इज दिस। ये अभी आपको जानने की जरूरत नहीं है, ये मैं आपको व्हेन द साइंस एंड टेक क्लास विल हैपन तो यहाँ हम लोग पढ़ेंगे। ओके, फॉर नाउ जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड कि न्यूक्लियर जो प्रेशराइज्ड हेवी वाटर रिएक्टर है that is used for power generation। okay, it is a nuclear power plant। in a nuclear reactor, increased number of neutron is allowed initially to reach the required reactor power and then maintain at that level। okay, so इस तरह से हम लोग जो है पावर जनरेट करते हैं। this concept is clear to everybody? clear to everybody guys? टेक्निकल है थोड़ा सा, but I think it must be clear to everybody। okay, good। so now another news। now let's discuss the Rajasthan crisis। so Rajasthan crisis क्या हुआ and then we'll discuss the other news। now normally what happens, so in any, whether in Lok Sabha or Raj or in the legislative assembly, Sandeep has a question. How does heat operate turbine? Beta, it is not heat. It is heat which generates steam, and that steam, at a very high, pressure moves the turbine, and that is how power is generated. Okay, Sandeep. Heat जो है वो steam generate करता है, and that heat at a high pressure, generates or moves the turbine. Okay. Now, in any parliament, Lok Sabha or Legislative Assembly, the MPs and MLAs, they get elected from a political party, and it can be political party. So you can be from BJP, from maybe from Congress or any other political party. So when they are chosen from political party, they cannot go against party line. Which means if party says vote on X issue, okay, on X issue, so you have to vote on party line. Otherwise, or else, if you go against the party, then there is a concept of 10th schedule of Indian Constitution. And here, अगर आप party against जाके vote करते हो, your membership might expire. या आपका membership जो है वो खत्म हो जाएगा. Okay, and you'll be disqualified. So 10th schedule was added in 1985. Okay, 1985 में with 52nd Amendment of India's Constitution, we added 10th schedule, and as per this, if member of the political party, member of parliament or legislative assembly chosen from particular political party, if they go against the political party, the member can be disqualified. But अगर 1/3 member पूरे पार्टी का split करते हैं, then it will not apply. अगर 2/3 split करते हैं and merge कहीं और कर जाते हैं, then it does not apply. Which means 10th schedule is applied only when the 1/3 or 2/3 formula is not followed. Which means अगर वो 1/3 से कम है और 2/3 से कम है, then that is the concept of 10th schedule. तो 10th schedule में हुआ क्या? तो यहाँ पर राजस्थान क्राइसिस में क्या हुआ? जो उनके लीडर है सचिन पायलट, he along with his some 18, 20, 19 MLAs, he was unhappy in the party because of whatever reason. उनका internal problem था. He was having issue with the chief minister of that state, because he was he was deputy in the chief minister. So he said, he went against and he rebellion कर लिया उन्होंने. जब rebellion कर लिया तो पार्टी ने उनको समझाने की कोशिश करी, and he did not budge. Basically he said that I should be made the chief minister. Now maybe उनके पहले कुछ discussion हुआ होगा या पहले उनको promise किया होगा, we don't know that, but he asked that I should be made, because उसके पहले भी उनके साथ कुछ केसेस हुए where जो उनके चीफ मिनिस्टर है इनके बीच प्रॉब्लम बहुत दिन से चल रही है. Now when he held a rebellion, then कांग्रेस पार्टी ने इनको कन्विंस करने की कोशिश करी, and we did not agree. First he was removed from his deputy chief ministership, and then a कांग्रेस legislative party meeting, एक कांग्रेस legislative party meeting करी गई, और इस मीटिंग में कहा गया that everybody have to be present in the meeting. And those who do not come to the meeting, then 10th schedule will apply to them. So the meeting was held, but the Sachin Pilot along with his team of group of MLAs, he did not arrive. और तब जब ऐसा हुआ, then the speaker of the Rajya Sabha Assembly, he sent a notice. उन्होंने notice send किया to the Sachin Pilot and 19 MLAs, and the notice was towards disqualification. उन्होंने कहा कि आप इस notice का जवाब दो, otherwise you will be disqualified. Now when this happened, now naturally here within the house, अभी house के अंदर की हम बात करते हैं, what happens in the house? 1/3 formula means 1/3 of the members. 1/3 formula मतलब 1/3 of the member of the house. Now what happened? I'll just remove this. So normally क्या होता है? Let's say there are 200 MLAs are there in the house. In 200 MLAs में there is a speaker who is elected, and this speaker runs the assembly. and speaker is the boss, remember. And within the assembly, ये जो पूरा आपका असेंबली है, इसमें speaker is the boss and speaker can decide anything or everything. Normally, in a normal situation, if there is some problem here, court cannot intervene. Courts intervene नहीं कर सकते हैं. That is a normal accepted practice. But हुआ क्या? When the speaker sent the notice to Sachin Pilot and the dissident or unhappy MLAs for disqualification, then what happened? They went to court. वो लोग high court चले गए. And when they went to high court, उन्होंने क्या कहा? That we are not against the party. We have not defied the party. We have nothing against the party. But within the party, we are being harassed, and the right to dissent is crushed. Means we cannot have an opinion. Is crushed, and we are coerced. या हमको force किया जा रहा है, coerced with 10 schedule. Now, in a normal situation, court cannot intervene because this is the matter of the house. It's like house की बात speaker decide करेगा. The court have no locus standi. Court का जो application होता है वो house के बाहर हो सकता है. But within the house, speaker is the boss and he should decide. It's like what happens inside the court, MP, MLA or ministers cannot decide. Similarly, what happens inside the house, the judiciary people cannot intervene. So this is what happened. But सुप्रीम जो हाई कोर्ट था, उन्होंने जो राइट टू डिसेंट वाला वर्ड को बहुत सीरियसली लिया और उन्होंने कहा ही डायरेक्टेड द स्पीकर को डायरेक्ट किया दैट आप थोड़ा स्टेटस को रखो, अभी आप डिसीजन मत लो, इस नोटिस पर आप डिसीजन मत लो और इसको कुछ दिन के बाद हम देखेंगे. मे बी ही स्पीक हाई कोर्ट वांटेड सम क्लैरिटी ओवर दिस. बट जब ऐसा हुआ, the speaker and the entire people got very unhappy and they said that Supreme Court or High Court or judiciary for that matter does not have the power to intervene in such cases. उनका ये कहना था that you have violated your power, you have gone beyond your ability to maneuver power. आप अपने power की power से आप बाहर जा रहे हो, तो ये आप गलत कर रहे हो. अब इसके बाद क्या हुआ, जो कांग्रेस पार्टी थी, जो रूलिंग गवर्नमेंट थी, they went to Supreme Court. वो लोग Supreme Court चले गए against the High Court's status quo decision, and that is what has happened in the recent time. But Supreme Court ने भी क्या कहा, उन्होंने status को रखा. उन्होंने कहा कि they have not, and they asked, उन्होंने Supreme Court से बोला कि ये जो High Court का decision है, इसको आप null and void कर दो. This is not we want. आप null and void कर दो because this is something that you are going beyond your power. ठीक है, तो अब इसको पूरा समझते हैं क्या हुआ. The Supreme Court bench is scheduled to hear an appeal filed by Rajasthan Assembly Office challenging the State High Court order to defer anti-defection proceeding against former Deputy PM. तो इसमें हुआ क्या, the Speaker CP Joshi moved to SC against High Court order directing him to give 19 MLAs to reply till July 24 when the court will deliver its verdict. His main contentions are SC intervention is premature because he is yet to decide on the issue of disqualification but has only issued notices. अब एक previous ruling, अब होता क्या है, normally when judgment आता है या judgment देना होता है तो हम लोग एक precedent judgment check करते हैं. Precedent means old judgment, and based on that judgment the new judgment को हम question करते हैं. So Supreme Court in the Quixote Holanan case specifically barred any judicial intervention prior to decision making stage. तो ऐसा 1992 में भी केस हुआ था और वहां पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा था कि जब स्पीकर डिसीजन, when the speaker is taking decision, when the decision has been taken, तब आप कह सकते हो. अभी स्पीकर ने डिसीजन लिया ही नहीं है, the speaker has just issued notices and hence it is premature, you should not intervene. SC had said no interference is permissible at intervening stage of proceeding and judicial review of final decision is available only on the limited ground. SC cannot intervene in the designate power to decide questions of disqualification under anti-defection law. तो इनका ये भी कहना था कि SC डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता है. Judicial review cannot cover proceedings election under Article 212 of the Constitution. Article 212 वो हाउस से जुड़ा हुआ होता है, तो वहां पे इंटरवीन नहीं कर सकता है. दिस हैज क्रिएटेड अ न्यू डिबेट वेदर whether judiciary has the power to intervene, whether judiciary has the power to intervene in the proceedings or the power of speaker. ठीक है, तो स्पीकर की जो पावर होती है वो अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड होती है विद इन द हाउस. जैसे लोकसभा के अंदर जो स्पीकर है हमारे, उनकी पावर अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड है. सिमिलरली लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली के अंदर जो स्पीकर होंगे उनकी पावर अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड होगी. नोबडी, द कोर्ट कैन नॉट से एनीथिंग एंड कोर्ट इंटरवीन नहीं कर सकता है. The petition said the High Court has crossed its jurisdiction by asking Speaker to put off his decision on disqualification notice issued by the dissident MLAs. The SC order was affront to the power of the Speaker. The High Court interim order granting extended time to the rebel MLAs to file their replies to anti-defection notices amounted to violation of Article 212. 212 क्या कहता है? The courts cannot inquire in the proceedings of the legislature. यानी कोर्ट का पावर नहीं है. The petition said the judicial review of ongoing anti-defection was limited. Judicial review मतलब power of judiciary to intervene. Notice is much prior to any final determination or decision on the disqualification. The provision included the notice in the realm of the legislative proceedings under 10th schedule, the speaker argued. उनका कहना था 10th schedule में जो power है वो मेरे पास है. I can issue notice, I can disqualify. When the disqualification happens, जब disqualification हो जाएगा तब court intervene कर सकता है. You cannot intervene before I have taken a decision. So that is where it is. And there the Quixote Holland case was cited. And it said that 92 case tha, judicial review cannot be available at the stage prior to the making of the decision by speaker chairman, and prior action would not be permissible, nor would interference permissible at the interlocutory stage of the proceeding, the verdict says. यानी बीच में ये नहीं हो सकता है, जब verdict आ जाएगा तब जो है ऐसा होगा. Now question comes in that जब ऐसा सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट पहले आया है, then how come High Court has taken the decision? या हाई कोर्ट ने ऐसा क्यों कहा? Now here we need to understand the picture of other picture side story. जो dissident MLAs थे, जिन्होंने सचिन पायलट कैंप के थे, what they said, they challenged the 10th schedule. उन्होंने 10th schedule को challenge कहा कि their right, उनका जो right to dissent है, यानी right to have an opinion है, which is different than what party is thinking, वो हमारे right में infringe किया जा रहा है. That is not in a normal situation. My understanding of article 10th schedule, मुझे ये पता है that ideally court को intervene नहीं करना चाहिए, and this is probably maybe a new example of where the court has intervened. But now the speaker office countered that paragraph 21 of the is the law of the land. Speaker का कहना है कि court को power ही नहीं है intervene करने का, and you are going inside this, and that is a problem. So ये पूरा एक situation है. Article यहाँ कंप्लीट हो जाता है. एक और नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल है जो इससे जुड़ा हुआ है, and it said that what should be done. अभी हमें ये कैसे मालूम है गवर्नमेंट इज स्टेबल एज इन पावर, बिकॉज यहाँ पर जो उनके एमएलएज हैं वो तो रेबेल कर रहे हैं, एंड इफ दे आर रेबेलिंग व्हिच मींस द गवर्नमेंट माइट लूज द मेजॉरिटी, और गवर्नमेंट अगर मेजॉरिटी लूज करेगी तो गवर्नमेंट शुड फॉल, एंड इफ द गवर्नमेंट शुड फॉल देन हाउ डू वी चेक दैट कि गवर्नमेंट इज स्टेबल नॉट, या गवर्नमेंट एक्चुअली मेजॉरिटी या नंबर्स है उनके पास नहीं. हाउ डू वी चेक दैट? एंड दैट इज वेयर one way to check is that let's discuss on the floor of the house. आप ऐसा करिए, एक असेंबली का मीटिंग कराइए, असेंबली मीट कराइए, एंड देयर वोटिंग विल हैपन अगेन, एंड थ्रू दैट वोटिंग गवर्नमेंट के पास जो नंबर्स हैं उसके थ्रू गवर्नमेंट अगर मेजॉरिटी मिल जाता है दे विल विन इट. लेकिन ये पूरा गेम क्या है देखो, मान लो 200 मेंबर्स हैं तो मेजॉरिटी कितने में चाहिए आपको? 101. सो इफ गवर्नमेंट के पास नंबर 101 मेंबर्स हैं तो आप जीत जाओगे. नाउ इसमें से 19 लोगों ने, और मान लो 200 है एंड 100, बट जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी जो पावर में है उसके पास 105 जो है लेट्स से सीट्स है, बट इस 105 में 10 लोगों ने डिसेंट कर दिया, which means now the effective number is 95, which means ये 101 का नंबर गवर्नमेंट के पास नहीं है, and government should lose the majority. 200 members हाउस में है, अगर आपके पास 101 मेंबर है, that means if you have majority you can form the government. नॉर्मल सिचुएशन में उनके पास 105 थे, 10 ने डिसेंट किया, 95 हो गया. अभी जो 10 डिसेंट है they are against the party. अब which means government does not have number, which means government is losing majority, government should fall. बट अब यहाँ क्या होगा, यहाँ पर एक अलग गेम होगा, स्पीकर की पावर आ जाएगी. स्पीकर क्या करेगा, इन जो 10 मेंबर्स को डिस्क्वालीफाई कर देगा, और जब डिस्क्वालीफाई करेगा देन व्हाट विल हैपन, नाउ द इफेक्टिव मेंबर ऑफ द हाउस कितने हो जाएंगे 190, यानी 190 मेंबर ही रहेंगे, विच मींस अब यहाँ पे हमें कितने मेंबर चाहिए होंगे 96 मेंबर चाहिए होंगे, बिकॉज इसको हम हाफ से डिवाइड करेंगे 190 बाई 2, सॉरी 50% से ज्यादा कितना होगा 95 प्लस 1, विच मींस ऑलरेडी इनके पास नंबर है, इनको बस 1 नंबर और जनरेट करना है और इस तरह से गवर्नमेंट को वो स्टेबल कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज अ कॉमन प्रैक्टिस विच कैन बी देयर. Yes, yes, that is right, Ananya. That is what Supreme Court has accepted. That is today's decision. Uh, that is true. Fundamental right is there, but it is within the but constitutionally जो है हमारे system में चीजें अलग तरह से defined है. So we need to understand from the constitutional point of view. Okay. यहाँ पे individual right क्या होगा? That is another area. Let the verdict of Supreme Court comes in. उस पर clarity आएगा तब हम लोग उस पर discuss कर पाएंगे. अभी ये चलेगा बेटा, कुछ दिन चल जाएगा, देन इसको मैं फिर से डिस्कशन करेंगे, देन प्रोबब्ली थिंग्स विल बी अंडरस्टैंडिंग. समझ में आ रहा है सबको? दिस एंटायर थिंग एवरीबॉडी गॉट अंडरस्टूड? समझ में आया कि स्पीकर का गेम क्या है? स्पीकर तो ये उनका ये कहना है कि भाई अगर हम मेंबर्स को डिस्क्वालीफाई कर देंगे तो जो गवर्नमेंट बनाने के लिए जो नंबर्स चाहिए वो लेस चाहिए होंगे, एंड दैट वे गवर्नमेंट स्टेबल हो जाएगी. एंड ये एक नॉर्मल सिचुएशन है जहां स्पीकर का पावर मिसयूज होता है. स्पीकर इज यूजुअली फ्रॉम द रूलिंग पार्टी. स्पीकर रूलिंग पार्टी से होता है, तो स्पीकर रूलिंग पार्टी के फेवर में डिसीजन देता है, एंड दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम. सो स्पीकर, सो नाउ, so this article is discussing about, now we need to revisit the practice of floor test. Why? Because this article says that whatever is mentioned in the 10th schedule or whatever is mentioned in the constitutionally in the constitution terms, अभी क्या हो रहा है? The parties are breaking the members, MLAs को they are asking the MLAs, they're giving money to the MLAs, and they're asking them to resign. And when the MLAs resign, then what happens? After the resignation, the effective number comes down, and then the new government maneuvers the number, and then this again resigned MLA will contest the election. Okay, and again here the new government will make sure that they win the election, and that is how you gain power. So there is a growing trend of toppling the government by luring the MLAs of the ruling party, and SC needs to reconsider the floor test usually ordered in such cases. तो ये article ये कहता है that in such situation the floor test is also not a good process. Now let's understand the 10th schedule of the Constitution. Article 191 declares that person shall be disqualified from being a member of legislative assembly or council if of a state if he is disqualified in the 10th schedule. यानी अगर 10th schedule में आप disqualify हो गए तो आप MLA नहीं रह सकते या MLC नहीं रह सकते. 10th schedule of the Constitution contains provision as to disqualification on the ground of defection. आप defect कर रहे हो party से. The 10th schedule also fixes relations between member and political party which selected him as a candidate. अब देखो ना, आपने बीजेपी को वोट किया, and if the BJP MP और MLA अगर वो पार्टी के अगेंस्ट चला जाता है, you did not vote the person, you voted the BJP, and when he goes against the party and he leaves the party, then basically the faith, जो वोटर का faith है, the trust है, that has breached, and that is where 10th schedule ensures that many times people have voted for the party, and that faith has to be restored. Otherwise democracy में कोई तो किसी भी break करे, किसी को भी कोई भी government बना सकता है. That should not be allowed. It also provides one of the ground of disqualification if he voluntarily gives a membership of such political party. यानी अगर आपने membership party का छोड़ दिया तो आप फिर disqualify हो जाओगे. But ये disqualification कौन decide करता है? It is decided by the speaker. So the speaker will decide the disqualification process. Okay. 10th schedule and the constitutional morality. 10th schedule brings to the fore the need of constitutional morality. It means strict adherence to constitutional democracy. And if MLAs go against the party platform, then then it cannot be accepted, because MLA have taken an oath and they have an allegiance to the Constitution of India established by law. Okay. As legislators do not have absolute freedom to behave in any way they like. यानी वो party के against नहीं जा सकते हैं. That is the this thing. But when you have a floor test, the floor test करते हो, the numbers can be managed. Okay, because MLAs can be lured with reward, political, floor tests become constitutionally immoral and unjust. Okay, so maybe हम लोग 10th शेड्यूल को हम लोग वायलेट कर देंगे and new government can be formed. So this article is discussing that now judiciary should come with a new rule of floor test कि floor test को हम कैसे use करेंगे to prove majority, that again should be checked and questioned. Okay, so judiciary must take note of the toppling of the majority government through luring of MLAs and subsequent floor test by the court. That floor test in such situation needs reconsideration. तो ये एक article है और ये क्यों है? Because the same thing happened in Madhya Pradesh, the same thing happened in Karnataka. In MP, the dissent MLAs, left the government. The government came in a minority, and then BJP had the numbers, it won. Similarly, in Karnataka also the same thing happened. So this article somewhere is telling that और यहाँ पे ये कहना है that BJP is doing all the tricks in the book, and the idea is that they are manipulating the whole process, and constitutional जो process है उसको भी violation हो रहा है. Okay? So that completes this article, this issue. आपको ये राजस्थान वाला controversy समझ में आया? Everybody understood this controversy of Rajasthan? And the concept which I discussed now, is it clear to everybody? Okay, fair enough. थोड़ा अगर doubt होगा, probably because this is a little technical for some people, so don't worry. Just read few times, because when we'll study in polity, तो इसको हम बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे. Okay. So this is the concept. Now we'll go with the other topic. Now this article. Yes, same case. Now recently RBI has signed 400 million currency swap facility with Sri Lanka. Now what is currency swap facility? Normally कैसे होता है? Now RBI has signed with Sri Lanka. In a situation, what happens? RBI will give dollars to Sri Lanka, $400. Okay, and in return, अभी मान लो $1 equal to 100 rupees of Sri Lanka currency. Sri Lanka का जो रुपी है, let's say 100 rupees. So in return, जो भी उसका exchange rate होगा, they will give Sri Lankan, maybe currency at this exchange rate to RBI. ठीक है? तो अभी क्या होगा? हम श्रीलंका को ऐसा पैसा दे रहे हैं with an agreement that at a future date, हम इसको क्या करेंगे? हम वापस कर देंगे. So you will return the $400 to me, and I will give your currency back to you. So this kind of facility is called currency swap facility. The question is that why do we have a currency swap facility? Now, right now, because of the COVID problem, Sri Lanka, India has given debt to Sri Lanka. India has given around 960 million loan to Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka is not able to pay the payment. Sri Lanka is unable to pay the debt, interest and all. So what Sri Lanka government said that maybe will help us, because this is a COVID problem and we are not able to help. We are not able to find solution. So government said, don't worry, RBI will use a currency swap facility, and here what will happen, that आपको हम dollar दे देंगे, and this dollar you can keep, and Sri Lanka can use this dollar, and in return they can give their own currency to RBI, and RBI will keep this currency, and at a future date the reverse transaction will happen. So Sri Lanka, then at that time maybe COVID problem will be over, and Sri Lanka might be in a situation to revive their economy. उनका forex शायद बढ़ेगा, and then they will repay the $400 million to us RBI, and RBI फिर उनका श्रीलंकन रुपी वापस कर देगा. तो इसको हम कहते हैं currency swap facility, and this is applicable till November 2022. यानी इसका period क्या है? Its period is till next maybe year, next 2 years, right? 2020 चल रहा है ना, 2 years रहेगा. So exchange rate same रहेगा. It will not happen. Okay, I'll explain. Ananya, just don't worry. So RBI has agreed 400 million currency swap facility. What is the move by RBI? RBI action follows a recent bilateral technical discussion on the rescheduling Colombo's outstanding debt repayment to India. Following the outbreak of COVID-19, India has proposed virtual meeting to discuss the request. Sri Lanka owes 960 million to India. In return, Sri Lanka would facilitate protect and promote liberal ecosystem for Indian investors. तो वो ऐसा नहीं है कि हम they will allow Indian investors to invest in their country. A currency swap is also known as a cross currency swap, is an off balance sheet transaction in which two parties exchange principal and interest in different currencies. Currency swaps are used to obtain foreign currency loans at a better interest rate than could be got by borrowing directly in a foreign market. ठीक है, तो कैसे होगा? In a swap arrangement, RBI will provide dollars to the Lankan central bank, which at the same time provide the equivalent funds in its currency to RBI based on the market exchange rate at the time of transaction. यानी जो आज transaction था उसकी बेस पे रहेगा. The parties agree to swap back these quantities of their two currencies at a specified date in the future. यानी आज जो currency है जैसे मान लो $1 equal to 100 श्रीलंकन जो भी उनका currency का नाम है, and this is July 2020. In November 2022 जब ये फिर से डील खत्म हो जाएगा, then again the exchange rate will remain same. ये same रहेगा. Okay, so parties agree to swap back these quantities of their two currencies that is specified in the future, which could be the next day or even 3 days later, using the same exchange rate as the first transaction. So exchange rate will not change. अब इसमें advantage क्या मिलेगा? First thing, जो currency fluctuations का जो loss हो रहा है वो श्रीलंका को नहीं होगा. And why India is helping? Because Sri Lanka is a neighbor, and in this way Sri Lanka will also allow maybe open their market for Indian investors. And अगर श्रीलंका से हम अच्छा friendship करेंगे तो it is also good because China is trying to lure Sri Lanka. Okay, so that way it is like helping Sri Lanka in the time of crisis. Okay, these swap operations carry no exchange rate or no other market risk as transaction terms are set in advance. So पहले से ही जो है वो रहता है. So now you understood how it works. Why one need dollars? FPI investors look. अभी क्या हुआ, जो श्रीलंकन फॉरेक्स है, जो उनका फॉरेक्स होगा, जो फॉरेक्स एक्टिविटी होगा, फॉरेक्स मींस फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिजर्व. तो ये श्रीलंका का जो फॉरेक्स रिजर्व है, all that reserve, because of the COVID, उनके यहाँ जो इन्वेस्टर्स थे, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स, दे लेफ्ट द कंट्री एंड उनका फॉरेक्स कम हो गया, द फॉरेक्स रिड्यूस्ड. So FPI investors look for safer investment, but the current global uncertainty over COVID outbreak has led to shortfall everywhere in the global market. This has pulled down foreign exchange reserve of many small and developing countries. This means that government and RBI cannot lower their guard on the management of the economy and external account. India case में ऐसा नहीं है because India is relatively a big and strong economy, but countries like Sri Lanka, they are much smaller economy, और उनके country में जो reserve का investment है, जो reserve था, that has declined, and that is why Sri Lanka needs help. Okay, so benefit of the currency swaps. The absence of exchange rate risk is major benefit. Exchange rate risk नहीं रहेगा. जो आज exchange rate है, the same exchange rate will remain, in future as well. It provides flexibility to use this reserve at any time in order to maintain appropriate level of balance of payment or short-term liquidity. Swap arrangement between governments also have supplementary objective like promotion of bilateral trade, maintaining value of foreign exchange reserve with a central bank, ensuring financial stability, protecting the health of the bank system. So these are the ways in which dollar श्रीलंका को मिलेगा. श्रीलंका can use the dollar and probably revive the economy, and that is maybe in India's interest as well, because India को क्या होगा, हमारे neighbor को का problem resolve हो जाएगा. Okay, so that completes this article. Now, India should not jump conclusion of dealing with Iran. Okay, now क्या problem क्या हो रहा है? Let's try and understand. Now this is Iran, remember? ठीक है, यहाँ ईरान है. Now this is the Gulf of Oman and Strait of Hormuz. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Recently, Iran and China are in the process of building 25-year relationship, and it is also believed that China might invest in one of the ports of Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. इसी के पास invest करने की बात हो रही है. Now this is a problem. Iran and China are close to concluding 25-year strategic partnership. This being linked that Iran has decided to undertake construction of Chabahar Jahidin railway line on its own. Now ये India बना रहा था, but India बना नहीं पा रहा था. Why India is not able to make? Because Iran is under a lot of sanctions. Iran is under sanctions. and because sanctions kahan se aa rahe? US sanctions, and because of sanctions nobody can invest in Iran, nobody can help Iran, and India, whatever India committed in terms of investment, that is making their rail line, that has kind of stopped. So Iran is unhappy, and Iran is kind of making relationship with China. Now China is also cautious here, but it is believed that maybe China will get closer to Iran, and maybe that would be not good for India, because Iran and China were close players. Okay, so the project has not been handed over to China, not yet least. So India loses, China wins narrative is premature. Abhi it's still in the evolution phase. China attaches importance to Iran, which is the key source of energy supplies, a part of Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), a potential lucrative market. अब हो क्या रहा है मैं बताता हूँ. What is Belt and Road Initiative? अब जैसे मान लो, मैं तो ऐसे तो ठीक ऐसे बनाना ठीक नहीं है, but let's assume this is China. This is maybe India. This is Middle East. This is Europe. This is Africa. Okay, so मान लो ऐसे है. Sorry for the diagram. Okay, yeah, this is India, this is China. What China is doing, that China is trying to make road connectivity, SASR road, they are trying to. So China is making BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, one road, one belt. Okay, and in this, what China is looking, that China is making road, rail, port, connectivity, cyber connectivity, everything. And they're investing. So China is investing in Africa, in the Asian nations, in European nations. And the idea of China is that China पूरा road बनाएगा, railway line बनाएगा, port बनाएगा, और ये सबको connect कर देगा. And when it will connect, it is a very ambitious project with huge amount of money. And when it will connect, so China will be able to do business with all these countries. The problem with that, when China is making these, China is giving loan to these countries. A very good example is CPEC. Okay, चाइना पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर. तो ये चाइना कुछ इस तरह से बना रहा है, एक ऐसे 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 बना रहा है, एक ऐसे. It is trying to make all possible infrastructure. The problem with here is that when China is making this, one of the project of BRI is called CPEC, चाइना पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर. एक यहाँ से जा रहा है. तो जब चाइना पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर डेवलप होना स्टार्ट हुआ, तो in return what India did, India signed a deal with Iran. Okay, India signed a deal with Iran. Now what Iran will do? अब ये ईरान देखो यहाँ पर है. This is India, this is Pakistan, and this is Iran. Okay, so India signed a deal, and India said that यहाँ का जो पोर्ट है वो हम डेवलप करेंगे, और इससे हम अपना एक कनेक्टिविटी इंश्योर करेंगे सेंट्रल एशिया में. Now this deal was important for India because that way India will be able to make good relationship with Afghanistan and of course the other countries of the Central Asia. But Pakistan and China are very close relationship, and now China is cozying up with other countries like Iran. And why Iran? Because it is believed that Pakistan, Sri Lanka, China can counter USA, but India cannot counter USA. So Iran के केस में जो sanctions लगे हैं, that might not have that effect on China as it has effect on India. So this is the problem. और India और China के relationship थोड़ा सा shady हो गए हैं. India and Iran के relationship थोड़ा shady हो गए हैं. So that has to be improved. So China attaches importance to Iran because it is a key source of energy supplies, a part of Belt and Road Initiative. However, like India, China has also in parallel cultivated a closer relationship with Saudi Arabia and UAE. China continues to have strong relationship with Israel. As China's economic, military, and technological capabilities have increased, its profile in this strategically important region has also expanded. What should India's foreign policy should be? While acknowledging the changed geopolitical landscape, India should pursue to continue the policy of maintaining positive relationship with Iran, Arab states, and Israel. India will have more room for maneuvering in the region by continuing to maintain a strong and friendly relationship with Iran. One should not exclude the possibility of democratic US president reviving the Iran nuclear deal. Agar Joe Biden, if Trump loses, Joe Biden will come, and if the Joe Biden will come, he will remove the sanctions as it is believed. So maybe we'll have to wait till maybe October, November, or December. Maybe things will change in the coming year. Agar Trump हार जाता है तो. What should be India's foreign policy towards Iran? The revival of the deal will open the doors of the US and European companies to resume business with Iran, and it is a reinstatement of the several economic sanctions that has led Iran to turn to China, but the latter has remained cautious. The pursuit of closer security partnership with the US does not mean that India should follow US lead on its important relationship. Some of the experts say that India should go ahead and help Iran. India should go ahead and should not worry much about America, and India should also explain America. See, this is in our interest. When you are putting a sanction on Iran, it is probably because you have certain problem with Iran. But try to understand our problem. If you don't have good relations with Iran, then future में हमारे लिए हमारे security के लिए भी problem हो जाएगा. Because Iran is the only country in that area or region where we have good relations, and we don't want to maybe sacrifice that relationship just because America is putting pressure on them. So while maintaining relationship, India should not closely monitor development of relations with China, Iran. Okay, यहाँ पे China क्या कर रहा है? They are making a new port at Just. ये हॉर्मुज स्टेट पे यहाँ पे भी जो है यहाँ पर भी ईरान जो है एक पोर्ट बना रहा है with the help of China. So in short, if I have to say, the problem is that because Iran is getting closer to China, that is a problem for India, because in that situation, India will lose a very key partner or help a friend. Okay, it is a deep concern of Arab states will suffer from any closing of hermit state while Iran remains less affected. This is an issue where Arab state may be well adverse reacting to China. Okay, क्या होगा? Only time will tell. But right now, India should press in concern while working on the counter strategy. India should maintain engagement with Iran while pressing for concern at the same time, particularly when it comes to Iran relationship with China endangering India interests. तो हमें अपना interest को safeguard करना है, and we have to be cautious, and we need to keep trying reaching out to the Iran in real sense. Okay, so that is the whole issue. समझ में आया ईरान वाला controversy? Okay. So Ananya has a question: if China closes trade route using Just, is it possible for India to restrict trade from China via Malacca? We don't. No. That is not possible. Malacca is not under India's control. Remember, Ananya, it is not under India's control. No, these are just future, very extreme possibilities. I think no country will do like this. The only thing is that if China goes closer to Iran, probably the leverage which India has, the advantage which India has, might not be able to sustain. तो ये एक major problem देखने को मिलता है. Okay, so that is all for today, guys. I think I've covered the important topics, and there are some. एक और news है serological survey, and then I'll close for the day. And rest you can read it, and if you want, because these are some daily news are there. No, it is near Andaman jurisdiction. नहीं वो ऐसा नहीं आता है. I'll discuss in the IR part. Okay, Andaman, there is a concept of international law of seas. Okay, वो देखना पड़ेगा. Okay, now recently एक serological survey हुआ. What is serological survey? हम लोग sample लेते हैं of the population, and we check the antibodies, and these antibodies का numbers अगर ज्यादा होता है, which means antibodies. Why antibodies are created in the body? Antibodies are created in the body against certain disease, and since we are doing this serological survey in the areas where the COVID-19 spread is high, जहाँ पे spread ज्यादा है, so this antibody high antibody shows that these people are COVID affected. Okay, serological survey seeks to assess the prevalence of a disease in a population by detecting the presence of specific antibodies against the virus. A test is performed to diagnose infections and autoimmune illnesses. It can also be connected to check if a person has developed immunity to certain diseases. Okay, तो अभी हमने क्या किया है? ELISA test किया है. Okay, to check the population exposed to COVID-19. ठीक है, बट इससे क्या होता है? हमें ये मालूम होता है कि डिजीज स्प्रेड कितना हो रही है, एंड एज पर द नंबर इट वाज फाउंड दैट जितने लोगों का किया था उसमें 23% पीपल हैड हायर एंटीबॉडीज, एंड दीज एंटीबॉडीज वर मेनली अगेंस्ट द कोविड-19. और कोविड-19 में प्रॉब्लम क्या है? मोर देन 90% ऑफ द पीपल दे आर एसिम्प्टोमेटिक, व्हिच मींस उनका सिम्टम ही नहीं है. इट्स लाइक आई एम कैरिंग द वायरस बट आई डोंट हैव एनी सिम्टम. सो this is the problem with disease. It is highly infectious and many people who are infectious they asymptomatic and that is the problem. आपका कोई symptom जो है नहीं आ रहा है. Okay. Why need such survey? Since it is not possible to test everyone in the population, serological survey are used to make estimate of the extent of disease and spread in the community. Results show that significant proportion of the population is still vulnerable to the contracting the novel coronavirus infection. Containment measures need to continue with the same vigor. Non-pharmacological interventions like physical distancing, mask cover, hand hygiene, cough etiquette, avoidance of crowded places must be strictly followed. So that is the serological survey. The serological survey से हमें ये मालूम होता है that how disease is spreading. So that is all for today, guys. You can read the next other news are there. These are some. I think I've covered the most of the news. But ये छोटा जो current वाला news है, छोटा जो news है, वो आप खुद read कर लेना. And if you still have a problem, you can discuss with me. In the next class जो मेरा होगा Saturday को, उसमें मैं इसको अलग से cover करा दूँगा. Okay. I've covered the most of the news, but these important small news like this one, it's a factual news. Okay. We have covered this. A COVID-19 law lab, it's a factual news. Okay, RAISE initiative, factual news है. Flood commission, factual news है. Lunar link, ये सब factual है. छोटा छोटा news है. Okay, आप खुद इनको पढ़ लेना. Okay. So that is all for today. If you have any question, you can ask me, and then I'll close for a day.